What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 7AK Chapter 166 Cell Transplantation Technology Cures the Masked Man. Advertisement, and it seems that Nanoyu's worries can be seen. Uchiha Kagami told Kabuto very seriously, after this incident, I have planned to move the orphanage to Konoha. Director Nunoyu will be protected by Konoha, so there is no need to worry about safety issues. And Black Zetsu asked you to save the Masked Man. In fact, it has little impact on us. You only need to keep the Masked Man alive. Other espionage operations. You can consider it as appropriate. Saving your own life is the most important thing. I understand, I do, Kabuto said without any hesitation. Understood. Uchiha Kagami looked complicated. Unexpectedly, Kabuto turned to the path of espionage. He could actually tell that Kabuto was here for no, even though the orphanage had been moved to Konoha, which meant it was affiliated with Konoha village. But, as the dean, Nanoyu still has to take risks. She will not stay in Konoha village forever. She needs to save orphans from other countries. Konoha cannot protect her for a lifetime, so Kabuto follows Orochimaru and continues to become stronger, so that he can protect the dean without relying on Konoha in the future. Furthermore, now that he has become a ninja of Konoha, then you have to contribute to Konoha, so you have to do the spy mission yourself. After Orochimaru and Uchiha Kagami left, Nanoyu looked at the boy's firm face and said softly, Kabuto, you have to live for yourself. The dean will leave you sooner or later, do you understand? Then let's wait until that day, Kabuto said nonchalantly. What a stupid boy. Carrot hash, time flies. A few months passed in the blink of an eye. At the end of the year, it was also time for Prince Ming to be born. This time, if you are well prepared, Kushina was sent to the medical department in advance, and Tsunade was responsible for delivering the baby herself. There were a bunch of big men standing outside the door, as well as Kakashi and Obito who were responsible for guarding. Namikaze Minato was the most anxious. Fugaku's situation was exactly the same as when Sasuke was born. Teacher, there shouldn't be any problems, right? Are the delivery equipment in good condition? Did Tsunade-sama have a good rest yesterday? Is the temperature of the delivery room okay? Namikaze Minato is like a nagging monster. He kept pulling the teacher's arm and kept mumbling. Uchiha Kagami understood his mood and explained patiently, don't worry, it's okay. Tsunade had a good rest yesterday. Kushina will definitely be born safely. That's good. Several hours passed. The door opened and Tsunade took off his gloves. Fortunately, the mother and son are safe. Ha, great, Menma is born and I am a father. Minato is so happy. He walked in and glanced at his son. But he didn't intend to hug him. Instead, he walked to Kushina and looked at his extremely weak wife with a look of pity on his face. I'm sorry, my wife, you've suffered. It's okay. Kushina is painful though, but he is still a ninja after all, and his physique is much stronger than ordinary people. Although he couldn't get out of bed right away, he still spoke fluently. After caring about his wife, Minato came to Kushina with his son in his arms. It's so cute. My son is so handsome, Minato said proudly. Of course, after inheriting your and my looks, how can you not be handsome? Advertisement Obito and Kakashi also came over. He hugged Naruto with a surprised look on his face, but quickly put it down. But when the two of them saw their master and wife being so happy, they also smiled sincerely. Seeing this scene, Uchiha Kagami couldn't help but sigh. The scene of master and disciple fighting each other has finally passed. Fortunately, all his efforts over the years were not in vain. Minato suddenly patted his forehead. Oh, I almost forgot. I have to ask the teacher to hug Menma, I'm so confused. It doesn't matter. You are a father after all, so your mind is normal. Uchiha Kagami holds Naruto. It was found that it looked exactly the same as in the original work. That is, with orange hair and 3 beards on his face, he breathed a sigh of relief. Cute, right? Teacher, I have a feeling. Naruto will be very powerful in the future. It shouldn't be difficult to surpass my father, Minato chuckled. Of course. Uchiha Kagami smiled. After all, he is the protagonist, isn't that what he should be? But in fact, Naruto's cheating all the way was a bit misleading. In Boruto Legend, without 9 tails, all he can say when turning on Sage Mode is, I will come back alive. To know, Naruto had just learned Sage Mode. That look of confidence and determination that he can win are 2 different styles. But this is actually normal. Otsutsuki's first move is too strong, and Naruto's basic conditions are too weak. Apart from rolling balls, he is rolling balls. The method is too simple, which makes him rely too much on 9 tails chakra. And without 9 tails, Naruto is naturally too weakened. Meatballs can't even measure how big they are, but this time. But it's different. Strengthening the foundation is inevitable. At least learn the lightning style ninja technique first to strengthen your physical defense. It would be better if you can learn the ancestral flying thunder god technique. Commander Suke and Naruto in Boruto Legend have become relics of the old era and can only be given over to Boruto drama. But enhanced Naruto and Sasuke. Even if Otsutsuki can be beaten, at least it won't be as miserable as Borutoden. As the strongest body in the ninja world, you teach Sasuke, even if your Otsutsuki can kick Susanoo to death with one move or another, it will have no effect. And with Kabuto becoming apprentice to Orochimaru. For him, this is a bit difficult. Certainly, after all, the time was too short, so Kabuto's progress in mastering it was not high. He also learned Orochimaru's unique secret technique, software transformation, which can greatly enhance the flexibility and elasticity of the body. But it's not so difficult as to be shocking. If he hadn't honestly delayed the masked man's healing time as much as possible, he would have cured him half a year ago. Successful. The masked man is almost out of danger of death. I have transplanted all the new epidermal cells into him, including the internal organs. This job is really not easy. In just 1 year, he mastered a large number of advanced ninjutsu. In the underground space, Kabuto is treating the masked man. Cell transplantation techniques are also included. The chakra scalpel in my hand kept cutting off the damaged cells, and after a long time I breathed a sigh of relief. But it is enough to show that Yakushi Kabuto's talent in science is terrifying, and as he studied in the past few months, he gradually became Black Zetsu's hope of curing the masked man. Kabuto relaxed his wrists and pretended to be working hard. And a little bit of genetic modification technology. Actually speaking, how's it going? Was the cure successful? Black Zetsu asked anxiously. Hill Cemetery. Chapter 167 changed the fate of the Uchiha clan and their genocide. Advertisement, as expected of Orochimaru's disciple, his Mangekyō Sharingan is too serious. Is there any way to solve it? Black Zetsu asked again. It's done. I got some First Hokage's cell solution from my teacher. Although the white Zetsu cells you have are also from him, the concentration is completely incomparable. Yakushi Kabuto showed a confident expression, and the Hashirama cell solution I injected was modified by the teacher himself. Without any side effects, it can completely eliminate Mangekyō's load. Great. But, won't you be discovered after stealing it? Black Zetsu asked worriedly. No, Uchiha Kagami replenishes my teacher with new Hashirama cell solution every year, and my teacher has done too many experiments over the years. He won't even care if 1 or 2 bottles are missing, don't worry. That's good, but we should try to avoid this kind of thing. Once Orochimaru discovers that you are an undercover agent, our plan will be in danger, Black Zetsu warned. I know what's appropriate. Kabuto nodded, but I secretly felt a sense of relief in my heart. Black Zetsu originally regarded him as a tool to save the masked man, but due to his talent, he became a spy who stayed in Konoha. But little does anyone know, he is a double agent. He is just responsible for keeping an eye on Black Zetsu, but Black Zetsu has no idea. This feeling is so good. Of course, if it were not for the purpose of being an undercover agent, the teacher would not part with this Hashirama cell solution. Certainly, this is not considered capitalizing on the enemy. After all, in terms of Uchiha Kagami's strength, even if the masked man becomes stronger, he is still far less threatening than Uchiha Madara. 7 days flew by. The masked man's body was already charred. But now the surface is covered with plaster, resembling a silkworm chrysalis. Click, 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 time passed little by little. The plaster cracked bit by bit. The masked man's naked body was exposed, with flawless white skin. The vitality was so abundant that even his face began to crack. Kabuto stared at it trying to figure out the other person's identity. But, the masked man stood up, turned around and put the whirlpool mask back on. His eyes suddenly turned scarlet, Mangekyō Sharingan suddenly spun around, and the masked man looked up and down his body. Ha ha ha. I'm stronger. Mangekyō Sharingan, which has no side effects at all, is really powerful. I won't be so embarrassed when I meet Nagato and the 3 of them next time. The masked man laughed like the Uchiha clan. The lower body is so frivolous that I really can't bear to look at it. Kabuto couldn't help complaining. Hey, masked man, can you put on some pants first before you laugh? You look like this. You look a little too disgusting. The masked man lowered his head. That's when I realized I was naked. The old man's face suddenly turned red, and he found a black robe and put it on himself. Then the masked man coughed a few times, revealing the majesty of the plan executor. You are the one who saved me, right? I hope you are kind to me. I will not punish you for your offense. Now Black Zetsu said, tell me the specific situation. Advertisement, what happened after I was seriously injured by the Nagato trio? Black Zetsu and the 2 of them walked to the corner, deliberately avoiding Kabuto. Actually, not much happened. The main reason was to save you. I found the director of the Konoha orphanage, but by chance, I found Kabuto. This person's talent is no less than that of Orochimaru. So I asked White Zetsu to kill Nunoyu. The blame was put on Konoha, just like Obito. And Kabuto believed it easily. Now he is a spy on Konoha, following Orochimaru, and of course he can also monitor Uchiha Kagami's movements. That's it. Well done. The masked man admired it very much. I thought I didn't believe you when you said you were Master Ban's will, but now I believe it a little bit. Your strategy is just a little worse than mine. Black Zetsu thought. Really good at blowing. Your strategy is so good, how could you be beaten to death by Nagato and 3 others? If it weren't for the purpose of resurrecting his mother, he would have stopped working with such a pretentious criminal. It was simply an insult to his 1,000-year-old silver coin's IQ. What's going on in the 4 major ninja villages except Konoha? The masked man asked again. Sanagakure and Kirigakure are still under our control as usual. Onoki of Iwagakure is asking about your movements, and 4th Hokage of Cloud Shinobi village is asking you to return 8 tails. Black Zetsu said awkwardly. After all, you have been in a coma for a year, and 8 tails is still in your different dimension. 4th Hokage thought you wanted to take 8 tails as your own, but now I think your situation is still very dangerous. Uchiha Kagami doesn't know that you are dead. He is a very strict person. If the three of Nagato can't handle it, then he himself may come to get you. If you really die, Project Tasuki no Mi will be discontinued. I understand. I'll return it to Reikage in a few days. The masked man said gloomily, but you are indeed right. Once I get caught by Uchiha Kagami, then Madara-sama's dream will be completely cut off. This is something I will never allow to happen. So we can't proceed step by step anymore. It's almost time to add some color to Konoha. You mean, let's activate the final plan directly? Black Zetsu's pupils tightened. That's right, time waits for no one. Good, Black Zetsu didn't object. The final plan, he wouldn't start unless he had to. But the current situation is frozen, and the existence of Uchiha Kagami prevents them from posing any threat to Konoha. Then, let's just burn the boat and let's see who can't sit still anymore. Konoha Village. Uchiha Tribe Land. Patriarch's Courtyard. Uchiha Kagami lies on a deck chair. He was still drinking ice-cold juice, and next to him lay a man wearing a mask, which was of course our eldest brother Senju Hashirama. Senju Hashirama couldn't help but be envious. Third brother, I'm so envious that I can still drink juice. My impure world reincarnation body has no sense of taste at all, otherwise I would also like to drink some. I still miss the taste of juice after so many years. Don't worry. When I revive you in the future, it will be no problem. Uchiha Kagami smiled. Are you sure? Mirror, Rinne Tensai is a super forbidden technique that only a Rinnegan can perform, and it comes at the cost of life. If you want to develop a Rinne Tensai technique without side effects, I'm afraid it won't be that easy, right? Senju Hashirama frowned. I know it's not easy. In fact, I don't have a clue now. Before Uchiha Kagami could finish speaking, he was stunned for the next second. After all, I don't even have a Rinnegan. Open black lens bracket ding. System hint. Close black lens bracket, favorability mission. Change the fate of the Uchiha clan's genocide. Close black lens bracket. Rewards. Normal Rinnegan, single eye, Indra's favorability plus 20, chakra 2000 points. Chapter 168 New Halo characteristics, you will lose every bet. Advertisement, the system tasks are finally refreshed? Uchiha Kagami was pleasantly surprised. After many years, the system finally appeared again. I vaguely remember the last time the system appeared. Seeing the mission reward, Uchiha Kagami couldn't help but feel quite surprised. Whatever you say comes true. I'm really going to reward Rinnegan, but the question is, why is it a single eye? Isn't this? Is it the same as SAS? One eye is Mangekyō and one eye is Rinnegan. The image looks a bit ugly. Do I need to get side bangs to cover it up? Or does Rinnegan also bring batches? There is also Indra's favorability level at the back. This thing seems useless, right? Indra has been dead for many years. Not to mention the grass on the grave, even the soil on the grave is probably not found. The 20 points of favorability are useless. Really weird, forget it, let's see what the mission is. Uchiha Kagami complained in his mind. Looking up and down at the task, he suddenly became surprised. How can you change the fate of the Uchiha clan being exterminated? What's going on? Could it be that something is wrong again, Itachi? That's not right. After Itachi's thoughts were spread by me and Shisui, he is no longer the person who would kill his parents and entire family for the sake of justice. If you look at it this way, were others the ones who exterminated the clan? Uchiha Kagami's eyes twinkled. I was lost in thought, but I thought about it for a long time. Still without any idea, Senju Hashirama next to him noticed his abnormality and waved his hand with a curious look on his face. Third brother, why don't you speak suddenly? And what are you muttering about? What about the annihilation of the Uchiha clan? Do you have a fever? Uchiha Kagami shook his head and said solemnly, I don't. What if someone can really destroy the Uchiha clan? Senju Hashirama thinks this idea is too far-fetched. How is that possible? What are you thinking? Although I am very humble, I have to admit that the younger generations of the ninja world are a bit poor now. You and I are the well-deserved number one in strength. With us in charge, no one can destroy the Uchiha clan. That's it. Wait, what did you just say? Uchiha Kagami was stunned. I say, no one can destroy Uchiha. No, the previous sentence. I said that you and I are number one in the ninja world now. What's wrong? Isn't that right? Senju Hashirama asked. No, I understand. Uchiha Kagami's pupils suddenly tightened. Of course he and Senju Hashirama are number one in the ninja world. And after the last actual battle, his strength is actually slightly better than Senju Hashirama, but the eldest brother is a man of dirt. Even after improvements and adjustments by Orochimaru and Kabuto, the strength is infinitely close to the peak, but it is still a little short of the standard. No one understands that a slight difference can make a huge difference. If you have Rinnegan, it will be different. Even if you only have one eye, your strength will be greatly improved. Logically speaking. Advertisement: the two of them were in charge of Konoha, and Madara had to kneel down when she came. But the problem is that if Madara kneels down, she will kneel down. If the three of them start a battle in Konoha, not to mention the Uchiha clan, including the entire Konoha, will be razed to the ground. Oh no, to be exact, all life on the land will suffer. As soon as he thought of this, he immediately conveyed his thoughts to his elder brother. Hearing this, Senju Hashirama's face showed happiness. You said, Madara is very likely to be resurrected. Even if he is not resurrected, he may be resurrected in the near future, and like me, he may also be the body of impure world reincarnation. No, why are you so happy? Brother, aren't you focusing on the right thing? Uchiha Kagami complained. Sorry. Haha, I forgot for a while. Senju Hashirama scratched his head and laughed. After all, I haven't seen my old friend for a long time. When you said this, I realized that Madara is no longer the same Madara. Oops. You two are a couple, right? I'm curious how Mito's sister-in-law can bear it. Uchiha Kagami curled her lips. Don't talk nonsense, Madara and I have an innocent and pure friendship, Hashirama corrected. Yes, friendship, Jing said perfunctorily. But, all joking aside, what you said is indeed true. If Uchiha Madara is resurrected and we start a war in Konoha, all the major clans, including Konoha, will be destroyed, and the land will be a mess. Senju Hashirama looked solemn and said, we must investigate clearly, but I have a question, how did you confirm that? Madara has a plan to resurrect. This is completely unfounded, right? Well, Uchiha Kagami is in trouble. Do you want to say that you have system task prompts? Because someone wants to destroy the Uchiha clan? I just guessed that Madara was resurrected? This is definitely not possible. After thinking about it, Uchiha Kagami pondered for a moment and said, brother, you also know. Madara, who originally called himself the Masked Man, was seriously injured by Shisui, Nagato, and Obito and was on the verge of death, but he survived by luck. It is also due to my contribution, but Kabuto was sent mainly to monitor him, but after this life and death crisis. As long as the Masked Man is not stupid, he should understand that he will not be Konoha's opponent, so he must seek external help. And this foreign aid is only Madara, because the others weren't qualified. It makes sense. Then I understand. What should we do now? Should we take action directly? Senju Hashirama asked. No, we must first confirm whether Madara is really resurrected and where he is. Otherwise, once we are dispatched, we will easily be diverted away from the mountain. Uchiha Kagami said calmly. Fortunately, I have placed a spy next to the Masked Man. Kabuto can help us obtain this information. As long as we wait silently. Then give Madara a big surprise. Okay, I'll listen to you. Hashirama nodded. He had no problem with the plan. There is nothing he can do if he has an opinion, because his brain is not very good. But I have to say that Jing is indeed very sinister. In this aspect, he is a bit like his second brother Tobirama. No wonder this kid likes him so much. Not bad. Open black lens bracket ding. System hint. Close black lens bracket, favorability +5 from Senju Hashirama. Wood style laughing Buddha Jutsu, 10th Edict on Enlightenment. Sage art Nujinman. Close black lens bracket. Your relationship is upgraded from superficial friends to close friends, and you gain the halo characteristic. You will lose every bet, close black lens bracket. Every bet must be lost. In any event, as long as the host participates in the bet, the outcome will definitely be a loser. Reminder. This is not bad luck. Proper operation will have miraculous effects. Close black lens bracket. As this, the Mingshen sect already exists. Uchiha Kagami was happy at first, and then he was dumbfounded. No, what is the use of this halo? Wouldn't that mean I have the same bad luck as my eldest brother, Tsunade? Isn't it, sir? Chapter 169 Reverse Operation? Is this a causal weapon? Advertisement, seeing the third brother happy and unhappy. His expression changed several times. Hashirama frowned and said, are you okay? What happened to you suddenly? Are you under too much pressure? It doesn't matter, Madara, we can solve it, even the Otsutsuki clan you mentioned. It doesn't matter how powerful they are. With our three brothers working together, nothing is impossible, don't worry. Okay, brother, that's not what I'm actually worried about. Uchiha Kagami felt helpless, but when he saw the prompt behind the halo, he suddenly thought of something. Etc. This thing is a halo, not bad luck. The system says that reasonable operation will have miraculous effects. Doesn't that mean that it can actually be operated in the opposite direction? What is reverse operation? For example, I participated in a bet, and I bet that I would lose. Wouldn't that be a sure win? Another example is when a person is bound to die and his heart explodes. But I bet this person can't die, even if he is alone and has no brains, he can't die. Even if there is a war with the Otsutsuki clan in the future. If I can't beat the opponent, then I bet that I will be completely beaten. Then I directly reverse the operation, and I directly beat the stronger Otsutsuki. Thinking of this, Uchiha Kagami took a breath. This thing is a causal weapon, and it has a wider range than the ones obtained before. Those halos have a fixed range, such as Darkness of the Ninja World, which automatically obtains information. Master of Forbidden Technique is the one who improved and developed Forbidden Technique. Professor Ninja is a self-taught ninjutsu master. The strongest body is for the physical body, but you will lose every bet is anything. This range is too big. Hashirama touched his forehead and showed a worried look. What's wrong with you? Are you shocked? Suddenly happy and crying. Third brother, if you are really anxious, you might as well relax. It's okay to go to Tsunade if you really can't, but don't go too far. I haven't agreed with you two yet. Although you two are about the same age. But there is too much difference in seniority. I suggest you go step by step. Uchiha Kagami said, brother, what are you talking about? I want to be quiet. Senju Hashirama. Who is Jingjing? Uchiha Kagami didn't bother to talk to him. But he gradually became more cautious. This halo must be tested. It may not really be possible to lose every bet, there should be a certain upper limit, otherwise it would be too buggy. But, before that, you must first confirm whether the reverse operation is possible. Uchiha Kagami glanced at the toolman next to him and smiled. Brother, shall I play a game with you? Game? I don't play. Hashirama refused. Why? Jing was stunned for a moment. Because Tobirama always laughed like you when he lied to me when he was a kid. He often lied to me about snacks when he was a kid, saying he was giving them to grandma, but he actually ate them himself. Senju Hashirama complained. When he grows up, he can't beat me, so it won't be so extreme. And your smile just now was as treacherous as Tobirama's. Your stomach is full of bad water. I don't want to play with it. Brother, my good brother, I really didn't mean to trick you. I have something important to experiment with. I swear. If I lie to you, I will let the second brother choke on the water he drank. Jing raised his finger to promise. That's okay. What do you want to play? Hashirama nodded. Then he reluctantly agreed to play the game. Uchiha Kagami thought about it for a moment and said, let's play a game, how about arm wrestling? Using only brute force, whoever knocks him down first wins. I bet I can win. Oh, then I bet I will win. Hashirama smiled. Advertisement. Brother, you may not know me. Not only did I learn the lightning style of Third Hokage, but I also developed the purple lightning chakra mode. My body should be the strongest in the ninja world. You must not be able to win. The corners of Uchiha Kagami's mouth slightly curled up. In terms of words, add debuffs like crazy. Really? Then I'd like to take a look. Bring it on. The two came to a stone. The right hands of both sides clenched at the same time, and the competition for strength began. Zitsa. 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 Uchiha Kagami directly used all his strength. When the Zidian chakra mode is activated, your hair will stand out one by one. The muscles all over his body swelled up, giving people a great visual impact. He wanted to end this arm wrestling duel instantly. This kid. His brute strength is so great, Senju Hashirama was surprised, but even more pleased. It seems that I have inherited Tobirama's talent for playing around with forbidden technique. This chakra mode also has a paralysis effect, which weakens my strength a little. Third brother. It seems that you can indeed defeat me, not only in terms of brute force, but in the future I believe. You will surpass your ancestors and become a better ninja. The corners of Uchiha Kagami's mouth curled up slightly. Senju Hashirama was about to give up. Of course, his strength is also stronger. After all, Tsunade inherited his strange power. However, Uchiha Kagami's physical strength has become stronger and stronger over the years, and with the blessing of the aura characteristics, it has already exceeded the limit of the ninja's physical body. However, just when Senju Hashirama was about to give up. Click. Boom. Senju Hashirama's hand suddenly became stronger. When Uchiha Kagami's hand was forcibly broken off, the stone cracked completely. I won? What happened? Hashirama was stunned. I lost? That's great, it's true. I knew. You will lose in every bet. This thing can be operated in reverse. Uchiha Kagami confirmed his suspicion. My heart became more and more excited. This halo is definitely comparable to a magical weapon when used properly. But he still had to ask for details, so he asked patiently, Brother, what happened to you just now? Have you found out how you defeated me? Well, it seems that my body suddenly burst out with strength, but it seemed to be only a few tenths of a second, but it still allowed me to defeat you. This is a bit strange. Senju Hashirama was puzzled. I know my body very well. Unless it is a life and death crisis, it may suddenly burst out with strength, but it was just an ordinary sparring. How could it happen suddenly? I don't know either, Uchiha Kagami said ambiguously. But my heart felt happy. I was sure. You will lose every bet. This halo characteristic can indeed be operated in reverse. So, the operability is too great. If we bet directly that the Uchiha clan will be exterminated, wouldn't it be enough to get the opposite result? Wait, this is still too risky. Uchiha Kagami shook his head and thought to himself. If you do the reverse operation, you will definitely not be wiped out, but it is not considered wiped out if half of it is wiped out. It is still too unsafe to risk your life, you still have to be cautious. P.S. 4 chapters are posted together. It will be published regularly every 1 minute, and if there are any saved manuscripts in the future, they will be published like this. From now on, the time will be fixed in the early morning, so that everyone can enjoy it at once. If the manuscript is not saved, we will inform you in advance. Chapter 170 Obito. You don't dare, right? No way? Advertisement? And, you must lose every bet. This halo may have a potential upper limit. Otherwise, if I just bet that the universe will not explode in the next second, wouldn't it mean that the universe will explode in the next second? Can this be done? Uchiha Kagami thought to himself. If this could be done, wouldn't it be exactly the same as a wish-making machine? No matter what, we still have to test the upper limit of this halo. We can't just take it for granted, otherwise, it will easily fall into the gutter. Third brother, are you okay? Do you want Tsunade to check your body? Hashirama asked with concern. No, I'm fine. Uchiha Kagami shook his head. He came to his senses and then reacted. The relationship between myself and my eldest brother has finally entered the ranks of close friends and relatives, even though Tobirama's character was recognized before, and his strength was also recognized. But, after all, no one has ever gotten along with each other. And he, Senju Hashirama, is also the god of ninja after all. A well-known presence in the ninja world, it is impossible for him to get too close to you as soon as he meets you. After getting a long day and night for the past 2 years, Senju Hashirama finally recognized his identity as the third brother from the bottom of his heart. Certainly, after all, time is still short. It's so different from the time we spent together with Tobirama. The relationship between being as close as brothers still needs a certain amount of time to cultivate. However, it is worth mentioning that because of the improvement in favorability, I have 3 of Hashirama's special skills. Sage Art Nyojin Gate, 10th Edict on Enlightenment. Wood Style Laughing Buddha Jutsu. Needless to say, the first one is very powerful. This move is a unique technique that can only be used in Sage mode. Hashirama can suppress the actions of 10 tails with only his earth body, including once suppressing the earth Madara. The second number is the technique headed by suppression. Being able to suppress the leader not only allows the leader to escape Sharingan's control, but can even put the leader into a coma. The third technique is also very powerful, although not as powerful as the Mingshen Gate. But the power of this technique is that he can drill his wood-style hand out of the ground at will. He has great mobility and flexibility, and the activation time of the technique is also very short. It is elusive and has a certain binding effect, even the sword slash of the complete Susanoo. It can also be caught with bare hands. Hashirama used this move to block Madara's powerful equipment Susanoo and restrain 9 tails. Third brother, if Madara really comes, can you leave it to me? Hashirama asked. Okay, I originally planned to let you take responsibility. You can have a heart-to-heart talk with Uchiha Madara. If you can persuade him to turn around, that would be great, Jing said with a smile. I'll try my best, but Madara is very stubborn and I may not be able to explain it. Senju Hashirama sighed. He knew Madara's character very well. If you decide something, even 8 horses can't pull it back. But because the third brother told him the truth about Infinite Tsukuyomi, it was actually Otsutsuki Kaguya's, and she wanted to make people into biological weapons, so he understood. The so-called illusion world is also fake. But the problem is, neither the mirror nor Hashirama can reveal these facts to Madara. Why? It's not that I don't trust him, but there is still a hidden Otsutsuki clan in the ninja world. This man came to the ninja world with Teruya Orichi, but was seriously injured by Kaguya's sneak attack and almost was eaten by the sacred tree. Fortunately, he survived and used a wedge to seize the body of a monk named Ji Shion. Now this person is still lingering in the ninja world. This person's strength was too strong in Boruto's den, and he had no confidence in dealing with him until he reached the 6 paths level. So I don't want too many people to know about Otsutsuki's existence. And at this stage, there are already many people who know the inside story, including his own 4 disciples, Yahiko, Nagato, Konan, and Minato. They roughly know that it is a threat from outside, but it is already very dangerous. Advertisement: there are only 2 people left, Tobirama and Hashirama. Once Ji Shion, also known as Otsutsuki, knows about one move, it is not impossible to be defeated by one move. Although he does not think that a non-perfect container's one move can be that good, it can defeat 9 tails Naruto and single Rinnegan Sasuke. I have to be a little more cautious and I must not be careless. Time flies. The next day, in the evening, the stars are shining brightly and night has arrived. In the Hokage building, the master and apprentice Uchiha Kagami and Minato look slightly condensed, seeming to be discussing something together. Teacher, do you really think Madara will come? Minato said solemnly. Of course, and it should be within the next few days. Then Minato just wanted something, suddenly. His stomach suddenly hurt. The eyes of 9 tails in his belly showed strong fear and fear. Minato, what's wrong with you? Jing asked anxiously. Someone is summoning 9 tails. Kurama told me that the man is here, and he is already here. Minato's expression changed drastically. Uchiha Madara. So fast. I'm leaving first. Minato, take care of yourself and move the roots in Anbu, including the Konoha Jonin. Konoha will not be harmed. I believe I still have a big brother. His teacher. Minato endured the pain. He immediately summoned the elites of Konoha to prevent the invasion of foreign enemies. With the departure of Uchiha Kagami, the entire Konoha began to mobilize, and everyone began to be on guard. Certainly, the only thing he was prepared for was sneak attacks from other ninja villages. And a few minutes ago, Konoha Uchiha clan extraterrestrial. Outside the gate, a man wearing a mask appeared. Wearing a red armor and a whirlpool mask with deep eyes, he looked at the gate of the Uchiha clan with a sarcastic look on his face. Back then, it's you who don't follow me, not one of you. Now you respect the junior Kagami? Even though that person does have some of my charm, your vision is too low. Only Infinite Tsukuyomi can bring peace to the ninja world, so let me do it all. Summoning technique. Uchiha Madara raised his hand and pressed it to the ground. But 9 tails did not appear. It seems that 9 tails is no longer of use, so just destroy the Uchiha tribe. The masked man had expected this. With a curl of the corner of his mouth, he was about to step into the gate of the Uchiha clan. Then I saw 2 teenagers blocking the door, one with black hair and the other with curly hair. But both eyes are scarlet Mangekyō Sharingan. The former has a slight flaw on half of his face, and the latter has big Kaziran eyes. Obito, you betrayed me, and you dared appear in front of me? This Mangekyō of yours was given to you by Uchiha Madara, the masked man said deeply. Betrayal? No, it was I who betrayed Konoha, and you? You said you were Uchiha Madara? Obito pointed at him deliberately and said sarcastically, no, if it is really Uchiha Madara, with his pride, he would not bother to wear a mask when he comes to Konoha. Do you dare to take it off? You won't dare, right? No, right? No, right? Chapter 171 Falling in Love and Killing Each Other, the Confident Uchiha Madara. Advertisement, okay, then let me show you, whether I am Uchiha Madara. The masked man didn't care. He took off the mask directly and revealed his true appearance. He has long black hair, deep eyes, and dirty lines on his face are clearly visible. Uchiha Madara. You are really here. Obito's heart became serious, but his words were unforgiving. You came to Konoha to destroy Uchiha? Just to take revenge on Uncle Mirror? For defeating you in the first place? You are really a narrow-minded person? Jing the Jr. Haha. Uchiha Madara said disdainfully. What do you know? He just defeated my clone. Even though he was able to use the complete body Susanoo later, my strength has already surpassed that of my prime. Even if he came, it would be in vain. Besides, you think I came to Konoha to destroy this group of ignorant people? You are totally wrong. This is just a casual thing. I came to capture 9 tails and defeat the mirror. Let the mirror come out and let's have a real battle this time. Grandpa has other things to do. Uchiha Madara. If you fight here, it will bring disaster to the lives of Konoha. I advise you to leave here. Shisui advised. Are you Mangekyō Sharingan too? Kagami's grandson? You have a good talent, but you too want to stop me, isn't it too disrespectful? There is only one person in the ninja world who can stop me, and that person is Hashirama, but he is already dead. Uchiha Madara sneered, but soon a man came out from behind them. He also wears a red armor and has long black and smooth hair. Wearing a cat face mask, he spoke with a calm tone. Madala, I'm still alive, don't fight in the village. Otherwise, I will stop you. You. Uchiha Madara finished listening. The whole person froze in place. This voice was so familiar. He had played with that person since childhood and had countless battles. No one understood the voice better than him, but he instinctively did not want to believe it. Because, voices can be disguised. Moreover, Hashirama was a man who would never allow anyone to desecrate his soul. Uchiha Madara was emotional and gritted her teeth and said, No, you are not a Hoshi hot mom, you are not. You are Uchiha Kagami, right? You want to use transformation technique. To deceive me, hoping to keep Konoha? Wishful thinking? Madara, now that your old friend is in front of you, you don't dare to recognize him, right? Senju Hashirama also took off his mask. A familiar face was revealed, with the same cracks on his face as the former one. This scene, Uchiha Madara was immediately stunned. Hashirama, you are also resurrected. In the way of impure world reincarnation. Ha ha ha, as expected, Uchiha Kagami had no choice but to blaspheme your soul in order to stop me. I'm not sure, but you actually agreed. This surprises me. It's a long story. All I can tell you is that I was resurrected by my third brother 2 years ago just to stop you. Hashirama sighed and said softly, Don't fight here, Ben. Our fight will only hurt more innocent people. We built Konoha together. Don't you regret it at all? A woman's benevolence means that those who achieve great things don't stick to trivial matters. Those people are weak and deserve to die, Madara said disdainfully. As expected, it's you. I knew I couldn't persuade you, Hashirama said helplessly. You can't persuade me. Then let's fight, Uchiha Madara shouted angrily. I have been looking forward to this battle for a long time. I must win this time. I want to wash away the shame of being stabbed in the back by you in the Valley of the End, Hashi Hot Mom. I didn't mean to backstab you, Murata. I don't believe it, Hashi Hot Mom. Really, Madara, Advertisement. The two roared at the same time. He rushed over at the same time, clenching his fists. He was about to hit the opponent in the face, but the next second, the space flashed with red light. Aha! Uchiha Kagami appeared between the two. With both hands clasped on their wrists at the same time, the Flying Thunder God technique was activated again and left Konoha village. And as they appear again, the three of them came to the south of the Fire Country's continent. To the south is the sea, with rough waves. Hashirama and Madara's interest stopped abruptly, and they stared at the scenery blankly. Uchiha Kagami stepped aside gently. I'm sorry, Konoha doesn't allow you to start a war, just stay here, please continue. You, King, a junior, have been waiting for me for a long time? Uchiha Madara pointed at him, her mouth trembling a little with anger. Of course, the only one who can persuade you is my elder brother. Although he can't make you obey, he can still do it without letting you take action immediately. That's why I can touch you and avoid Konoha village. Uchiha Kagami explained very considerately. I didn't show up immediately because I was worried that you would want to beat me up when you saw me. If you directly open the full body Susanoo, plus my words. Konoha is not enough. In order to protect Konoha village and the Uchiha clan, I had no choice but to take this step. This is the magic effect of memory killing. As expected, you didn't act cruelly at the first time. My eldest brother is indeed your sweetheart. What kind of sweetheart, you kid, don't talk nonsense. Let me teach you a lesson first. Uchiha Madara felt humiliated. No more nonsense, boom. Immediately the whole body of chakra rose into the sky, and the half-body of Susanoo stood tall. He raised his hands and threw out more than a dozen magatama, but Jing did not dodge. He saw Senju Hashirama standing in front of the third brother and patting him lightly with his hands. Wood-style laughing Buddha Jutsu, wood-style wood dragon technique. Click, click, the ground immediately shook. A big wood-style hand came out and blocked magatama. At the same time, a wooden dragon came out, lifted Senju Hashirama high, and confronted Uchiha Madara from a distance. Madara, this is a battle between you and me. Mirror will not interfere. Really? That's just in time. Let's fight. Madara said. Come and fight. The two of them didn't talk much. Immediately the wooden dragon and half-body Susanoo started to tremble. But the half-length Susanoo was a little worse after all. Uchiha Madara was too lazy to hide her clumsiness, and the eternal Mangekyō Sharingan in her eyes suddenly became distorted. The next second, turned into swirling eyes. There is no doubt that this is Rinnegan. Senju Hashirama's eyes narrowed and he couldn't help but sigh. Is this the legendary eye of the immortal? Sure enough, you bid me not just to vent your anger, but just to get this moment right. Madara, you are indeed smarter than me. You know, Jing told you. Haha. Uchiha Madara smiled arrogantly and formed a seal with his hands, but it's useless even if you know, Hasi hot mom. You are no match for me now. Let me see how you respond to this next move. Heavenly Obstruction Junction. Chapter 172 Dirty Earth Hashiramav's Dirty Earth Madara. Wood-style laughing Buddha Jutsu. Advertisement boom. While doing the Uchiha Madara seal, the blue chakra rose into the sky and transformed into half Susanoo. Half-body Susanoo also formed the seal at the same time, and saw a huge meteorite falling from the sky, giving people a great visual impact. Meteorite? Madara, you are really different from the past. Then I will try my best. Wood-style the birth of the tree world. Senju Hashirama looked solemn. In a blink, it turned into a huge tree. The tree held up the meteorite firmly, preventing it from falling. But, Uchiha Madara laughed ferociously. So, Hashirama, how do you resist the second one? Huh? There's a second one? Senju Hashirama was stunned for a moment. He looked up and saw another meteorite falling. Moreover, the size of the second meteorite was even larger than the first one, and the first meteorite was smashed into several halves on the spot. Boom. Boom. The earth is shaking. The coast shattered and frightened birds flew everywhere. The astonishing impact caused a large tsunami to rise on the sea surface. But the two of them were made of dirt, so there was no need to worry about any injuries. Scraps of paper kept gathering on the broken body, and the two of them had different thoughts while recovering. Is this the Rinnegan's power? Senju Hashirama became more and more serious in his heart. Can you actually summon meteorites out of thin air? With my current strength, I may not be able to win Madara, but because of the filthy earth body, it may not be that easy for Madara to win against me. Hashi hot mom, have you seen this? Uchiha Madara looked up to the sky and laughed wildly. Ha ha ha. This is the power of Rinnegan. This is the combination of Senju and Uchiha. The power to destroy everything in the forest. Sooner or later, the ninja world will be peaceful, in my hands. Madara, stop being so stubborn. Senju Hashirama retorted loudly. The illusion world of infinite Tsukuyomi is not as beautiful as you imagined. Give up this ridiculous ideal. Come back to the village with me, and we can build Konoha together. You think I'm ridiculous? Uchiha Madara's eyes changed. His focus is always new. He suppressed his anger and sneered as he had been rejected by his tribe for many years and was not understood by the world. Hashirama, what's ridiculous is you. What's wrong with infinite Tsukuyomi? This world is always a war, always generating hatred. My relatives and tribesmen exclude me, and the world doesn't understand me. It doesn't matter, you were once my best friend. Even you can't understand me, you don't understand me at all. Do you know how I got here all these years? Do you know? Senju Hashirama was quite speechless and said, you didn't tell me at the beginning. How could I understand you if you didn't tell me? Uchiha Madara said stubbornly, if you really understand, you don't need to say it. If you say it, don't I understand? What's the point of saying it? You are my best friend, you should understand me even if I don't tell you. I'm not a fortune teller, what do I know about you? It's really boring. Uchiha Madara's face was filled with disappointment. Disappointment for this family member, tribe, and close friend. Advertisement. He closed his eyes tightly and recalled every moment when he and Hashirama grew up together. They started playing games, and at that time no one knew each other's identity, and they were carefree childhood sweethearts. Until Uchiha and Senju go to war. The two of them fought constantly and became the patriarchs of their respective tribes. Fighting and hatred always intertwined until the two reconciled, which established Konoha. Speak the truth, he did think about living like this for the rest of his life. But the ostracism he suffered in Konoha was too great, and the position of Hokage was also squeezed out by Tobirama. He may look down on these things, but he should have these rights and status, and he deserves it. Why is it so boring? Senju Hashirama people are stupid. He found that Madara really had some problems with her understanding. He didn't want to hurt him before because he thought he could kill him at any time. Now, still the same. Haxi hot mom, life is indeed meaningless. Whether it's you, your tribe, or your family, it all means nothing. Only infinite Tsukuyomi can restore peace to such a world. I want to reshape this world, and you can't stop me. Their filthy bodies. Recovering almost at the same time, Uchiha Madara opened her eyes. As he clasped his hands together, the ground suddenly surged, and a large number of vines surged up. Wood-style wooden golem jutsu, Susanoo. Click, 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 those vines kept intertwining. It transformed into a tall giant 200 meters tall. And as Uchiha Madara performed the full-body Susanoo, he immediately besieged Senju Hashirama with wooden golem. It seems that the latter is a little embarrassed. But Senju Hashirama is still able to fight with ease, using a wooden golem.
Bang bang, bang bang bang. The two of them were going back and forth, and the ground collapsed. The waves were rolling, but Senju Hashirama saw the opportunity and clapped his hands.
Wood-style laughing Buddha Jutsu. The vines came out and turned into huge hands. With a raised hand, Madara's wooden golem was knocked to the ground, and even Madara's complete Susanoo was temporarily controlled and unable to break free. Senju Hashirama stood on the wooden golem, with the seals of his hands controlling the wooden hands, looking at Madara and trying to persuade her. Madara, I have also made changes. After my third brother's persuasion, I understand that I am also responsible for causing such chaos in the ninja world, and I am willing to atone for it. If you are willing to go back to the village with me, I can agree to rule the ninja world together as you promised. Jing persuaded you. Uchiha Madara was so angry that his lips trembled. Why didn't you listen when I persuaded you? I didn't say it. With the strength of you and me, it's not a problem to dominate the ninja world, but you refuted it on the spot. Now, Jing persuades you, and you agree? Senju Hashirama argued. I'm not a fortune teller. I couldn't see the future pattern of the ninja world at the beginning. Now that I can see it, isn't it enough to make changes? Also, why is your focus so new? Are you jealous? Shut up. Hashi hot mom, this is all your scam. I will never trust you again. Chapter 173 Evenly Matched. Uchiha Madara's Plan. Advertisement. Uchiha Madara was furious. I felt very angry for no reason, and saw the space in front of me flowing. 8 tails with horns appeared, and Uchiha Madara put Susanoo on 8 tails and began to continuously condense chakra. Tisk. Tisk tisk tisk, blade and tailed beast bomb keep condensing. Launched directly towards Senju Hashirama, although 8 tails is not as good as 9 tails.
But after all, 8 tails is also the big brother besides 9 tails. With the blessing of Madara's Rinnegan, its power is naturally slightly better than that of the Valley of the End.
Doing this again? Summoning technique 5-fold Rashomon? Senju Hashirama was pinned to the ground. The earth shattered, and 5 huge portals emerged. However, all 5 portals were penetrated, changing the original attack trajectory, and landed on the sea with a whoosh. Boom! The tailed beast bomb exploded directly. This is chakra with Susanoo mixed in it, and it's incredibly powerful. The sea surface suddenly rose and an explosion like a nuclear explosion occurred. The seawater with a radius of tens of kilometers was instantly evaporated, and a large number of small islands were wiped out. Senju Hashirama breathed a sigh of relief and was very happy in his heart. Thanks to my third brother for moving us all to the seaside, otherwise, once such an attack lands in the center of the land, it will probably completely destroy the land. Third brother is still very reliable at critical moments. Uchiha Madara's Rinnegan turned and said proudly, 8 tails is indeed too weak, but now, the tailed beasts of me are just toys. I was just trying out the moves I once had. After so many years, everyone in the world thinks that I am no match for you. Now Hashirama, the outcome between you and me will be reversed this time.
Enough. Winning or losing is so important. Senju Hashirama angrily said. So far, we have come all the way to establish Konoha and prevent the ninja world from falling into the chaos of the Sengoku era. Now, are you going to let all our efforts be in vain? Wake up quickly. Quote.
Are you preaching to me again? Madara was angry.
I don't. No, you do. Now I can not only fight to the other side, I can beat you. Awesome equipment beasts trouble wooden golem jutsu.
Uchiha Madara shouted angrily. Putting his hands together, a huge wooden golem emerged. This wooden golem Madara uses almost all of the chakra, so its scale is even hundreds of meters higher than the complete Susanoo.
The controlled 8 tails also stood overhead. Susanoo completely enveloped wooden golem in 8 tails, forming a behemoth. There is nothing we can do, sage art. Wood style true several thousand hands. Transform into a Buddha on top.
Come on, Madara, Hashi hot mom. Senju Hashirama clapped his hands.
The immeasurable magic was activated instantly. The moment the fairy mask appeared on his face, a large number of trees continued to emerge from the ground, and the trees continued to intertwine. Click, 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 click. A Senju wood-style Buddha statue covers the sky and the sun.
Senju Hashirama stood on top of the tallest wooden golem and fiercely fought with Uchiha Madara. Tailed beast bomb's blade flew forward and collided with true several thousand hands fist. This time, Susanoo's complete body was not completely shattered.
Advertisement. And true several thousand hands almost destroyed most of it.
Both were tireless, Uchiha Madara laughing arrogantly. Ha ha ha. I won, Hashi hot mom, I really won this time, you are no match for me. Yes, you win. Senju Hashirama looked complicated. In fact, Madara is definitely better in this battle. If he really had a mortal body to fight, he would have been seriously injured. But both of them are immortals from Impure World reincarnation, so the outcome of this battle is actually not much different. He still stopped Madara. After the two recovered their bodies, they both looked at each other from a distance. Uchiha Madara's pleasure of avenging her shame soon disappeared. Instead, she looked at Senju Hashirama and said sincerely, if you are willing, you can join me. The two of us will achieve peace in the ninja world and let the light of infinite Tsukuyomi envelope the whole world. Madara, you're going the wrong way. Hashirama shook his head. As expected. You are still you, so different ways do not lead to the same thing.
Uchiha Madara snorted coldly. A masked man appeared next to him and stood beside him. The masked man lowered his head respectfully.
Madara-sama. I'm back. Done? No, sorry.
The masked man looked ashamed and said, Nagado's strength is not weaker than mine. Even though I can use Mangekyō at will, my eye power is still not as good as Nagado's. Rinnegan didn't take it back, please punish me. It's okay, I'm not counting on you, I'm just giving it a try. I'm going back. Uchiha Madara waved his hand. The masked man's eyes Mangekyō flashed, dazzling red. Tisk. The space circulates. The next second, the two of them disappeared.
They returned to the base again, Uchiha Madara sitting in a chair with an expressionless face.
Black Zetsu and White Zetsu away stood on the left, Kabuto and the masked man stood on the right. The four of them all had different thoughts, some were anxious and some were nervous.
The nervous one was naturally Do Lai. Kabuto is still young now, so he is naturally very nervous when seeing legendary characters. Of course, on the other hand, it was because he was a spy, and Uchiha Madara glanced at the four people and glanced at White Zetsu away. What? Afei rebelled. Yes, Madara-sama. Afei has completely switched sides. Always said with deep disgust, this guy has devoted his loyalty to Uchiha Kagami, and now he still gets into the underground root network from time to time. He wants to steal our information. It's really abominable. I suggest killing him. Yeah, get rid of him, but don't rush. Uchiha Madara shook his head. It seems that I won this time, but this body of filthy earth is not perfect, so it is not much stronger than Hashirama. I have to get my Rinnegan back. I thought I could win in the woods. Yi stirred up chaos. I asked the masked man to go to Rain Shinobi village to steal the Rinnegan from Nagato. Unexpectedly, he failed. It seems that this kid Kagami has not been unprepared in these years. It was me who underestimated him. Then are we going to do it again? Black Zetsu asked. No, it's useless to try the same plan again, and Cage didn't take action this time. His strength may be lower than Hashirama, but at least he can open the full Susanoo, which should be the same as when I was young. Uchiha Madara said calmly. Even if he can't compare to my heyday, he is still not a weakling. If he joins forces with Hashirama to deal with me, I have to be careful, and this guy Kagami is not as innocent as Hashirama. The castle is too deep, just like Tobirama. If it is accidentally sealed, Project Tasuki no Mi will be useless. Then what should we do now? Black Zetsu said hoarsely. Collect the tailed beasts. I originally wanted to destroy Konoha this time and take the opportunity to steal 9 tails. It seems that I have no chance for the time being. Uchiha Madara glanced at the masked man and said calmly, didn't you already secretly control Tsunagakure and Kirigakure? Hide the 1 tail, 3 tails, and 6 tails Jinchuriki first, so that the mirror doesn't find them. As long as we have a large number of tailed beasts in our hands, we are not afraid that the junior will take the first step and then think about taking back my Rinnegan. Chapter 174 Ordinary Rinnegan, One-Eyed, Depressed Hashirama. Advertisement, yes, Lord Madara. The masked man nodded respectfully. Uchiha Madara glanced at Kabuto, who was nervous, and asked with interest, Kid, what's your name? You seem to be less than 10 years old, right? Not even 10 years old, Madara-sama. My name is Kabuto, Kabuto said honestly. Pocket. Uchiha Madara looked puzzled, glancing at the masked man and Black Zetsu. I don't understand why these two people would bring a child under 10 years old into their group. Seeing Uchiha Madara's doubts, Black Zetsu patiently explained. Madara-sama, Uchiha Kagami originally wanted to deal with the masked man, and sent Nagato, Shisui, and Obito. The 3 of them seriously injured him and almost died. Fortunately, we found Kabuto. Kabuto is Sannin, Orochimaru's direct disciple. He has learned superb medical ninjutsu, as well as science and technology. He is very worthy of training. The key is, he is an undercover agent we have placed in Konoha, who will help him understand Uchiha Kagami's movements. Oh, is it so? Uchiha Madara examined Kabuto. The next words made my heart tremble with fear. But why are you so sure that this kid isn't a spy sent by Mirror to plant himself among us? Kabuto was completely panicked. He was already young and just wanted to explain. But the masked man shook his head and said very confidently, the people of Konoha killed the people closest to Kabuto, and in order to get revenge, Kabuto endured the humiliation and lurked next to Orochimaru. If he is really a spy, why didn't you just kill me last time? Instead, you revived me? Isn't this unnecessary? Yes, Kabuto is trustworthy, Black Zetsu also said. Oh, you can stay then. Uchiha Madara put aside her doubts. In pure world reincarnation, he knows how to form and remove seals. Therefore, before his lifespan was about to expire, he taught the masked man the reanimation jutsu. If he couldn't snatch Rinnegan away, he asked him to find an opportunity to resurrect him in a body of filthy earth. And reanimation jutsu, not many people know and master this forbidden technique. If the masked man died, it would be no less than that his resurrection plan had failed. And if Kabuto was a spy, he wouldn't have saved the masked man at all. From this look, this kid was really not too suspicious. So close, Kabuto breathed a sigh of relief. Can't help but feel like this spy mission. It was really dangerous, and the secret was almost revealed just now. In fact, the reaction just now was actually the most natural reaction. After all, he was still immature and would not panic at all if he was questioned. That was abnormal, but luckily I got through it this time. Konoha Village. Uchiha Tribe Land. Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Kagami are back.
Sitting on the chair, Uchiha Kagami quietly waited for feedback on the task.
Open black lens bracket ding. System hint. Close black lens bracket, favorability mission, completed, change the fate of the Uchiha clan being exterminated. Close black lens bracket. Rewards. Normal Rinnegan, single eye, Indra's favorability plus 20, chakra 2000 points. Success? Uchiha Kagami was immediately overjoyed. Don't blame him for not being calm, after all, this is Rinnegan. Advertisement. Even if he is just an ordinary Rinnegan like Madara's pair, and has one eye, the concept of even one eye is completely different. With Rinnegan, the blessing of one's own strength is one aspect. The most important thing is that you can control Geto statue and use some stronger techniques. For example, sealing techniques, chakra swallowing, and black sticks made by Yin Yang Dun are used to imprison other people's bodies. And now he can feel that even with just one eye, it's also enough for me to use the Rinne Tensai technique. Now that I know it, I can improve it. Senju Hashirama said resentfully, "Third brother, why are you so happy? I lost to Uchiha Madara, and you are so gloating about my misfortune?" "No, it's not because of this, it's because of this." Uchiha Kagami smiled. The eyes gathered chakra and became the eternal Mangekyō. And the next second, his right eye transformed into Rinnegan, while his left eye remained the eternal Mangekyō.
Rinnegan. Third brother. You. Senju Hashirama was extremely shocked. You actually have the Rinnegan. Didn't you say that Madara didn't awaken the Rinnegan until she was almost old and dead? How did you awaken so quickly?
Because I am a genius, times, because I'm ADK, square root. Uchiha Kagami laughed inwardly, but Senju Hashirama was simple and he believed it. After all, he saw his third brother with his own eyes and learned countless immortal skills in an instant. That kind of talent even amazed him, and it was normal for the third brother to awaken to reincarnation with such a high talent. But why one eye? Hashirama wondered. This is the eye of an immortal. How can it be that simple? I'm still young. You'll have to wait and see if I understand it slowly. I should be able to wake up, Jinghu said. Oh, I understand. Senju Hashirama nodded. Uchiha Kagami felt it. Then he closed his right eye and returned to his normal black eye. He also breathed a sigh of relief in his heart. Although he had the same image as the second pillar, fortunately, he could open it naturally. And the second pillar, because it was the power of yin given by the old man of six paths. It is not a natural awakening, so there is no way to turn it on and off. There is no need to have slanted bangs to cover up the ugliness like Sasuke did in a later period.
But, Uchiha Kagami muttered in his heart. Just now, when the eldest brother was fighting Madara, I should have made a bet that the eldest brother would lose, and do the opposite.
That means the eldest brother would definitely win. Unfortunately, I was busy watching the progress of the mission and forgot to do it. Next time, definitely next time, I saw my third brother deep in thought. Senju Hashirama did not bother, but felt a little depressed. Of course, what made him depressed was not that he was defeated by Madara. Although he lost this battle, Madara's dirt was not as perfect as his, so it was not a crushing one. What he is depressed about is, I seem to have always been very simple and have a single thought. And he was too idealistic. His battle with Madara seemed passionate, but he could feel the loneliness in Madara's heart. That kind of, no one understands his loneliness. At the beginning, he thought that distributing tailed beasts was a good peace policy. But he didn't expect that after the 5 major ninja villages waited for him to die, the tailed beasts would be the best trigger for starting a war. This was his responsibility and he couldn't avoid it. If only I had listened to Tobirama and Madara's advice. If we directly use force to make the ninja world have only one ninja village, will the ninja world be peaceful? Even if it's not peaceful, at least it's better than the current situation, right? Chapter 175 Dutiful Son Black Zetsu, Improved Rinne Tensai Technique. Advertisement. Uchiha Kagami observed the eldest brother's mood and couldn't help but comfort him. What's wrong, big brother? Why are you looking so sad? You are not such a person. Tell me and let me help you find a solution. I just feel. It seems to be Madara and I's fault that has led to the current chaos in the ninja world, which has led to so much hatred. If everything could be done over, would it be better? Hashirama asked sincerely. Definitely, but there is no regret medicine in life.
Uchiha Kagami said patiently, and you are the respected ninja god because of your kind character. At that time, you couldn't see the future at all. There is no problem in making such a decision, but it does not mean that it is all you's fault. Black Zetsu is the descendant of Otsutsuki Kagaya. He survived thousands of years ago and has been instigating wars, especially the war between the Senju and Uchiha clans. And the current situation in the ninja world is also due to Black Zetsu's handiwork. For example, in the Uchiha tribe, there is a stone tablet in the basement of Nanga Shrine. Do you know what is written on it? What's written? Hashirama asked curiously. It says that when Senju and Uchiha are combined, they can gain the power of Senra. They can use Rinnegan to activate infinite Tsukuyomi, to bring peace to the ninja world. Uchiha Kagami shook his head, but in fact, this is the modified content of Black Zetsu. Black Zetsu is to let Madara resurrect Otsutsuki Kagaya, and in order to make the plan succeed, Black Lord died long ago in Sage of Six Paths. He keeps bewitching Indra and Ashura to create conflicts, and Indra is the ancestor of the Uchiha clan, and Ashura is the ancestor of the Senju clan. The continuous hatred cannot be quelled by word. And you were being able to reconcile with Uchiha Madara and build Konoha together. Black Zetsu thought that his plan was going to fail again,
so he went to Nanga Shrine to modify the content of the stone tablet. And let Uchiha Madara go all the way to black, until now. You can say, it's all Black Zetsu's fault and has nothing to do with you. I see. Senju Hashirama finished listening. He immediately gritted his teeth and said fiercely, Black Zetsu, don't let me catch this guy, otherwise it will be a series of Buddha punches. Let him understand. How to write the word. Regret. It's so abominable, this guy. Ahem. Uchiha Kagami was embarrassed to say it. In fact, he quite admires Black Zetsu, although Black Zetsu's methods are a bit despicable. But after all, he is a filial son until he is filial to his mother, and Otsutsuki Hagoromo and Otsutsuki Hamura are rebellious sons. These two people have no filial piety at all. In order to stop Otsutsuki, Kagaya takes revenge. And in the future, Otsutsuki holds the blame and uses the sacred tree to create biological weapons like White Zetsu. The strength of these White Zetsu is low. Apart from their camouflage ability and intelligence, how many of them can they compete with the Otsutsuki clan? But it is actually understandable that Kagaya is alone. She had no choice but to do so, but in order to protect her two sons, she had no choice but to say anything. This led to a rift in the relationship between mother and son, which led to the drama of the two brothers joining forces to seal their mother, and the younger brother, Otsutsuki Hamura, went to the moon to guard the Gedo statue, which is the body of 10 tails sealed in the moon. And Otsutsuki Hagoromo founded the ninja sect and divided 10 tails into 9 parts before his death. It is precisely because of this that the structure of the ninja world came into being.
Regardless of the fact that Highway's methods are despicable and he is a bit ugly, his persistence in saving his mother for thousands of years is still worthy of admiration and praise.
Certainly, these are all things for later. Uchiha Kagami said patiently, Brother, it is not difficult to blast Black Zetsu with your strength, but Black Zetsu is the third son of Otsutsuki Kagaya. It is a product of will, and it is almost impossible to restrain it except for yin and yang escape. Is that yin-yang done? Uchiha and Senju are compatible? Senju Hashirama suddenly thought, how about I also get a pair of Sharingan? Uchiha Madara bid me back then, so if I get a Sharingan, it may not be impossible to awaken the Rinnegan. Do you think it is possible? Advertisement. Of course it's possible, but it's actually too late. Uchiha Kagami analyzed. Madara walked between life and death before she died, and then opened the Rinnegan and regained the light, but the eldest brother is still a body of filth. There is no way to transplant the Sharingan, not even the most ordinary one. At least I have to resurrect you in advance. I can already use the Rinne Tensai technique, but I still need to improve it a little. I need to make a Rinne Tensai that has no side effects, or that the side effects are within a reasonable range. Can it really be done? Third brother, Hashirama asked worriedly. Don't worry, I can do it. Uchiha Kagami is confident. He certainly understands that Rinne Tensai is unlikely to be buggy.
Obito used the Rinne Tensai technique to resurrect Uchiha Madara, but was later revived by Naruto because the Black Zetsu filial son continued to live for a while.
Plus Obito's body. There was also Gedo statue at that time, and Gedo statue was the shell of 10 tails. Back then, Uchiha Madara could rely on Gedo statue to stay alive, and Obito could naturally get some health regeneration buffs. In addition, Black Zetsu was Kaguyu's descendant and had 6 paths yin-yang escape, which could also make people temporarily immortal. It's like, the masked man survived for more than half a year. But it is limited to extending his life, after all, he is just a product of his will. It is impossible to create something from scratch and create life energy to bring the dead back to life. In the end, Obito escaped death. The reason is because of Naruto's 6 paths yang power. The yang power itself has the ultimate physical manifestation, and it has the function of turning decay into magic.
This changed the fate of Obito's death. It also includes the inevitable ending of Guy Emperor's 8 Gate, which is also the result of the yang power of 6 paths. But this kind of cheating was a one-time thing. The sun pattern on Naruto's palm and the moon pattern on Sasuke all disappeared afterward.
As for, why didn't Sasuke's Rinnegan disappear? Because Sasuke's own body contains Hashirama cells injected by Kabuto.
And combined with the reason of eternal Mangekyō, although the power of yin in 6 paths is gone, Rinnegan still remains, but the strength is not as good as before. And Naruto lost his yang power. But he didn't have the power of the Uchiha clan in his body, so he also lost some big opportunities. And Uchiha Kagami, if you want to improve Rinne Tensai, it certainly doesn't rely on the power of yin and yang.
Instead, use Forbidden Technique Master to cheat. Is Rinne Tensai considered a forbidden technique?
Certainly. There is no doubt about it. This is the super forbidden technique among the Super S class. If you just rely on yourself to improve there, you will definitely not be able to succeed. The role of Master Forbidden Technique is that as long as the forbidden technique improvement conforms to the logical theory, it will definitely succeed. With this kind of causal weapon, it shouldn't be difficult to improve a Rinne Tensai with small side effects, right? If you can't open it, isn't that just a fool? Uchiha Kagami already had a plan in mind and laughed wildly in his heart. If Master Forbidden Technique is really not good enough, I still have a way. Just use you must lose every bet to reverse the operation. I bet on Rinne Tensai, which has no side effects. It cannot be improved. With the blessing of these 2 auras of law of cause and effect, even Rinne Tensai has to call her daddy. Jia. Chapter 176 Ideas for Improvement, Tsunade's younger brother, Naoki. Advertisement. Quote. In a blink, a month has passed.
Uchiha Kagami is still working on Rinne Tensei. Although it is not completely completed, it has achieved initial results. And this is without using the halo. I have gradually come up with ideas. Lying on a chair in the courtyard, Uchiha Kagami thought to himself. Rinne Tensei seems to be irreversible. But in fact there are some ways, besides creating life through yin and yang, and forcibly changing the outcome of death. There is another possibility, directly injecting the life of others into the caster. This method of injection is different from simply transplanting Hashirama cells, such as Chiyo's Hashirama reincarnation.
This technique, there is no doubt that it is also an S-class forbidden technique.
Able to inject one's own life force into the bodies of others. And whether it is the dead or the living, the real number objects of this technique can take effect. In the original work, Gaara was separated from Shukaku by the Akatsuki organization and died, but was forcibly revived by Chiyo using the forbidden technique to inject life into her life. And if we use Rinne Tensei, with his own vitality, he would definitely not die instantly.
Even if you die, it doesn't matter. You can just let others use reincarnation to inject life force into your body. This may fix the bug. But, who would be willing to give his life? White Zetsu is a good choice since it uses waste anyway.
But the question is whether White Zetsu can learn this forbidden technique. It doesn't matter for the time being, but the key is that Chiyo has been killed by himself a long time ago, so there is no good source to obtain this technique for the time being. Another way. It's Orochimaru's living corpse reincarnation. This technique can transfer one's own spirit to another person. But in pure world reincarnation only consumes vitality. Although the mental level will be weakened due to the weakness of life, it will not directly cause mental collapse. Or in other words, Rinne Tensei will not involve the soul level. So, the role of Orochimaru's living corpse reincarnation is highlighted.
Directly cast Rinne Tensei, then find the container and use living corpse reincarnation to resurrect, regaining the vitality of this new body, and repeating this cycle, can also achieve the effect of infinite stuck bugs.
However, this technique is not without its shortcomings. The requirements for reincarnation must be 3 years apart, and the container must be mentally weaker than the caster.
Otherwise, it will be counterattacked, just like Sasuke swallowed Orochimaru in turn. This technique can be said to be very powerful.
The key is, Orochimaru initially took other people's bodies. But later, cloning technology matured, and he no longer needed other people's containers. And he can also clone clones that are younger than the original, even the female version of Orochimaru. Have to say, Orochimaru is a true genius, but there's no rush now.
After all, Orochimaru's cloning technology is not yet mature and needs to be improved. Now that the situation has stabilized a little, Sunagaku can't go there for the time being. If it doesn't work, just use the halo to get it done. Uchiha Kagami thought for a moment. He confirmed his idea and glanced at Hashirama beside him.
Senju Hashirama caught his gaze and turned around with a naive smile. What's wrong, third brother? Do you already have an idea about improving Rinne Tensei? How do you know? Jing was curious. Every time Tobirama comes up with an unorthodox technique, he looks calm like you, but the corners of his mouth are slightly raised. I have to say, you are quite like Tobirama, third brother. You are actually Senju's illegitimate son, right? Hashirama teased with a smile. What's that? How about my pure Uchiha clan? Jing rolled her eyes at him.
Advertisement. But having said that, the battle between Madara and I ended some time ago. Although no one knew, but the broken traces of the battle over there were still discovered by many people. Do you think my existence still needs to be hidden from the village? Hashirama asked. It's better to hide it, now is not the time for a showdown. Uchiha Kagami shook his head. The last battle between Uchiha Madara and you, it seemed that Uchiha Madara was slightly better, but in fact, his filthy body is not as perfect as yours, so the outcome is not obvious. Coupled with my presence, Uchiha Madara will definitely not launch another raid in a short time. If nothing else happens, he should focus on the tailed beast and perfect his filthy earth body. I understand, you are as smart as Tobirama, I never thought of this. Hashirama scratched his head in embarrassment.
If you were smarter, you wouldn't be a ninja god. But, Uchiha Kagami was just about to say something.
There were knocks on the door outside the courtyard door. Benedict, 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 Benedict. This surprised both of them slightly. Uchiha Kagami raised her eyebrows slightly. Who is it?
Of course it's me. Why aren't you welcome? The door opened directly.
Tsunade with yellow hair walked in. It's just that there is a boy less than 10 years old beside him. But the tiny cracks on the boy's face revealed his identity. That's right. This boy is Tsunade's Naoki. Tsunade slapped Naoki's arm and chuckled. Brother, why don't you say hello to your brother-in-law? If it weren't for your brother-in-law, you might not even have a chance to be resurrected.
Brother-in-law, thank you, I am Nawaki. Nawaki stammered.
It's not that he's timid. After all, he is a pure descendant of the Senju clan.
And he is the younger brother of one of the Sannin, how could he be so cowardly? But the problem is that during the time of resurrection, he understood the changes in the ninja world and understood that his brother-in-law was a very strong ninja. We can even say, he is another ninja god comparable to his grandfather.
Although he was very young, his grandfather had passed away many years ago. But in his heart, he was still in awe of his grandfather just like his sister. For such a strong man like his grandfather, of course he was immediately worried.
Tsunade. Why did you bring Nawaki here? Uchiha Kagami stood up, showed a gentle smile, and touched Nawaki's forehead. Don't be nervous, it's your first time at my house. I have very good juice here, do you want a drink?
Well, I want to drink, Nawaki said anxiously.
Haha, let me pour you a drink. Brother-in-law, I will do it myself.
It doesn't matter, we're all family, you're welcome.
Uchiha Kagami poured a glass of juice for the sacred tree. This juice can be regarded as carefully prepared by him, a juice that does not belong to this world. Therefore, the taste was extremely sweet, but Nawaki didn't feel anything after drinking it, but he still pretended to be happy. Thank you, brother-in-law. This juice is delicious, it's different from the ones sold outside. Note: reincarnation in one's own life. This word is the name of the original comic. It's not quite the same as the translation, but it's correct. Chapter 177 Senju Hashirama. Can this detonating talisman kill people? Advertisement, of course. This is prepared by me myself. I forgot. You are made of dirt and have no sense of taste. Uchiha Kagami suddenly thought of this. Nawaki nodded bitterly after hearing this, his expression seemed a little unhappy. After all, he was a child. Even though he was finally resurrected, the shortcomings of his earthly body were still too obvious. No sense of taste or smell. You can eat it, but it's tasteless. For a child, it is indeed not that easy to accept. When Tsunade brought Nawaki, Uchiha Kagami almost understood the reason, so he revealed a little bit of the inside story. Tsunade, don't worry. Your brother will definitely be resurrected. I already have an idea. As short as a few months or as long as a year, I can improve the real resurrection technique, believe me.
Tsunade smiled. That's great, thank you. You're welcome, by the way. Hey, don't you take me too seriously. He didn't wait for Jing to finish speaking.
Someone in the lounge chair next to him was unhappy. Holding his chest with his hands, looking at the two people's crooked looks, he only had one feeling in his heart. That is, my own cabbage was eaten by pigs, although this pig is the #1 legendary pig in the ninja world. But as a grandfather, he is still unhappy. This has nothing to do with Jing's character, but his mentality of willingness and reluctance.
Hey, who are you? Old man, Nawaki glanced at him. I know you. Aren't you my brother-in-law's secretary? My brother-in-law gives you such great power. As a subordinate, you can't do the following. This is very bad. The next one. Are you talking about me? Hashirama became angry.
If not, Nawaki is very confident. After all, he is a child. But after all, he is Sanin's biological brother, who dares to mess with him.
But when Tsunade heard this familiar voice, he was stunned for the first time. He had some guesses in his mind, but he really couldn't believe it. Okay, brother, take off your mask. It's time to meet your relatives. Uchiha Kagami said with a smile.
That's pretty much it, you kid. Hashirama took off his mask. He revealed his original appearance, also a body of filthy earth, with a head of black hair. When Tsunade saw the familiar face, he immediately covered his mouth and exclaimed in joy and surprise. Grandfather. You are actually resurrected too? Little Tsunade, you have grown up too. I have worked hard for you all these years, Hashirama said with emotion.
Grandpa, I'm not working hard, but you still have to work hard for the ninja world. It's us, the younger ones, who have let you down. I'm sorry, Tsunade said guiltily.
It doesn't matter. Fortunately, I have my third brother. Kagami is now very strong, stronger than me. In his hands, the ninja world will become more and more peaceful, Hashirama said.
Advertisement. Of course, he is the man I like after all, Tsunade said proudly. Quote. Hashirama is unhappy again. On the contrary, Nawaki stood by and was dumbfounded.
Actually, it's my grandfather, the god of ninja who has never been masked but has a thunderous ear. It was actually right in front of him, and he had just attacked him?
I'm sorry, Grandpa, I just made a slip of the tongue. It doesn't matter. Those who don't know are not guilty. You are Tsunade's younger brother and also my relative, but I am very curious, how did you die? You don't seem to be very old. You just became Genin not long ago, right? Hashirama frowned. He frowned.
Grandpa, I was killed by the detonating talisman. Nawaki lowered his head and said. This thing can kill people? Hashirama was stunned. He had thought before that tailed beasts were very powerful at destroying monsters.
Especially in the previous battle with Madara, although Nine Tails' power was not as pervert as the two of them, it was easy to destroy a village, but he still didn't think the tailed beasts were awesome.
Therefore, he had just distributed the tailed beasts with disdain. But the embarrassing thing is that he was dismissive back then because he had the strength to dismiss it.
When he dies, the tailed beasts will become the nuclear weapons that truly threaten the ninja world. There have been countless wars because of the tailed beasts, and all countries want to take other countries' tailed beasts as their own.
Thinking about it later, the tailed beasts were weak to them. But it was still very powerful for ordinary people, but he didn't expect that something like the detonating talisman could also kill people, which puzzled him. Here, Nawaki blushed. Seeing my grandfather's surprised look, I didn't know how to explain it.
Uchiha Kagami enthusiastically helped the little guy and patiently explained. Nawaki had just graduated from the ninja school. He was only about 10 years old. He had not learned any defensive methods, and he was careless. He was hit. Iwagaker's trap. He was killed by the detonating charm buried under the stone. After the second and third ninja wars, I resurrected him with impure world reincarnation. It also reunited Tsunade with his brother, that's all. Son. About 10 years old, that's not too young. Hashirama scratched his head. During the war, when I was 10 years old, I was surrounded by dozens of ninjas. A large number of detonating charms tried to kill me, but I easily blocked them all and killed them all. This kind of thing is not very destructive. Isn't Naoki? Yes, it's too weak. Uchiha Kagami said very straightforwardly and seriously. Brother, you were in the war period, and you began to grow up in the war when you were 4 or 5 years old. Naturally, you are much stronger than you are now, plus your talent, so you can't compare with ordinary people. But even for newly graduated ninjas, in fact, those young ninjas in the ninja school know nothing except 3-body technique. When Naoki died, I suggested that my eldest brother reform the ninja school and increase the teaching time and ninjutsu. This can effectively give the ninjas more ways to protect themselves. I think now may be the right time. Even the children of the Senju clan will be killed by the detonating charm, and other civilians have even less means.
Sometimes, it's not that they can learn it, but that they have no learning channels at all. The hierarchy of ninjas is too clear, making it difficult for civilians to learn ninjutsu. Even low-level ninjutsu is difficult. What do you think? Then what do you mean? Hashirama guessed what he meant.
Divide the ninja school into age groups in detail, and enroll in different schools according to different ages. From low-level ninjutsu to high-level ninjutsu, learn slowly step by step, even the secret techniques of each major clan.
Uchiha Kagami's eyes narrowed slightly and he said, the number of ninjas in Konoha and even the ninja world is very small compared to ordinary people. The big reason for this is that ninjutsu is not popular, as long as it is popularized. Even just a part of it can make Konoha strong quickly. Chapter 178 Reforming the Ninja School, the Uchiha family sets an example. Advertisement. It's a good idea, but I'm afraid it's unlikely.
Senju Hashirama frowned and said, Third brother, those secret techniques are the secrets of the major clans, such as the Akamaiki clan's expansion jutsu, the Nara clan's shadow imitation technique, and the Yamanaka clan's heart reincarnation technique. These techniques have been passed down from generation to generation. The reason why a big clan is because they have these techniques as treasures to suppress the clan. If you ask them to hand over their secret techniques, this is equivalent to asking them to exterminate the clan.
Even if you are strong, they will not compromise on it. I know, I've always known how difficult it is, but you have to eat one bite at a time and walk one step at a time. If it goes too far, it's not impossible for these wealthy families to rebel against the village. We must avoid this situation. Jing responded. Then what are you going to do? Senju Hashirama asked. What if the Uchiha clan can set an example? I don't ask the major clans to use all their jutsu, only 1 or 2 basic ninjutsu, taijutsu, swordsmanship, etc. And I, the Uchiha clan, can also set an example. Uchiha Kagami said slowly. With my current prestige within the clan, no one will object to this matter, but accordingly, I will also provide some benefits to the major clans, so that they cannot refuse my benefits. They will definitely agree. After all, it's not a secret technique that's only available in the box, and the quantity is not large. How could the major clans disagree? If it really doesn't work, I have to step forward, eldest brother. Although I say everything in Konoha, no one can shake your position in Konoha, eldest brother. The two of us personally appealed to the chiefs of the major clans, but they had no choice but to betray us. This is indeed possible. If there are only 1 or 2 techniques, it won't be a stalemate. And all the major clans are high-ranking figures in Konoha. Knowing my existence is actually not a big deal. Senju Hashirama looked puzzled and said, but I still don't understand. You would rather lose the interests of the Uchiha clan to reform the ninja school. What is your purpose? Of course it's TNY, brother. TNY? I understand. Hashirama is easy to understand, and Uchiha Kagami certainly has deep meaning in doing this. Although Uchiha Madara has been resurrected as a body of filth, there is actually no threat. After all, Uchiha Kagami has awakened the Rinnegan, and even 1 eye is enough to be happy for several steps. He is now, maybe even like Obito, capture all tailed beasts directly and take the lead in transforming into 6 paths. And Uchiha Madara didn't even get his Rinnegan back. The so-called step-by-step, Uchiha Kagami is now concerned about the Otsutsuki clan. Especially, the Otsutsuki Ashiki is now hidden in an unknown place. This guy's strength is unknown, and he has to be on guard when hiding in the dark. The Otsutsuki clan actually arrived not many years ago, when Boruto was almost 10 years old. As for the currently known Otsutsuki clan, in addition to the Otsutsuki 1 style, there are also Otsutsuki Momo style, Ura style and Jin style. But according to the plot of the original work, among the 3, only Momoshi has the highest status. Jinshiki is Momoshi's servant and is responsible for sacrificing the sacred tree to obtain fruits. Urashiki has a similar status. Logically speaking, just like Kagaya and Ashiki back then, Urashiki should also have a companion. But I don't know why only 3 people came to the ninja world to investigate Kagaya and Ashiki, but there is no doubt that Momoshiki has a lot of background in the clan. If you look at it this way, there are definitely a lot of Otsutsuki clan. Konoha seems to be powerful now, but in fact only he and Hashirama are able to compete with the Otsutsuki clan. Let's not talk about the Otsutsuki clan for the time being, but the training of the younger generations must also be started. Among them are Sasuke and Naruto. As the protagonists, they must strengthen themselves. Advertisement. Then it is necessary to learn the techniques of various major clans. Don't think that the techniques of Nara, Akamichi, Yamanaka and other major clans are ordinary. After all, they don't seem to be very outstanding in the original work. But whether a technique is powerful or not does not depend on the technique itself. It's about the people who use the technique, like Uchiha Kagami. He now also knows the Akamichi clan's super expansion jutsu, and even the strongest clan leader Akamichi Dingzao can only use this jutsu to compete with the Gedo statue, which is the body of 10 tails in the original work. But if this technique is used by a mirror, the power is not just a matter of resistance, Gedo statue will be blasted. On the basis of super expansion jutsu, if you are using Susanoo, although the limitations of chakra may not reach the point where 1 + 1 is greater than 2, these techniques themselves have great advantages. Expansion jutsu is a typical embodiment of the Yang escape attribute.
The Nara clan's shadow imitation skills are even better. This technique itself is a manifestation of the Yin escape attribute, which can transform shadows into living creatures.
In the original work, Nara Shikamaru used this technique to control Momoshiki. Even though it was only for a moment, it was enough to prove the excellence of this technique. The shortcomings of Naruto and Sasuke are actually very obvious. Especially Naruto, chakra is amazing, but its method is too simple. Sasuke's skills are acceptable, but chakra is not enough. But if you can learn a large number of secret techniques and combine the strengths of hundreds of schools, your strength will definitely be different from the past.
Therefore, reforming the ninja school is inevitable, in his plan.
Ninja schools can be divided into kindergarten, elementary school, junior high school, and high school, each with a 3-year academic period. The entry age has not been decided yet. It needs to be discussed with Minato, but reform is inevitable.
Once the ninja school reform is successful, then even if the ninja class is not broken, it will be weakened a lot.
There will be more and more excellent ninjas, and it will give the young ninjas on the battlefield more means of self-protection, and it will also make Konoha stronger. How can you give up on such a multitasking thing? Besides, the Uchiha clan did not lose any profits either. After all, the Uchiha clan has many techniques, including some secret techniques. It can only be used with Sharingan, so there is no need to contribute. Just taking some fire-style ninjutsu and the swordsmanship of the Uchiha clan doesn't have much impact. After listening to the third brother's explanation, Senju Hashirama suddenly understood and asked, if we want to divide so many schools, then the schools may not have enough teachers, and they will definitely need to hire new ones. Simple, there are many Jonin in Konoha. Uchiha Kagami smiled. It's enough for the big families to provide some. Of course, we have to give some opportunities to commoners, such as Kato Dan and Amino. In addition to teachers, we have to set up 4 schools and be responsible for managing the 4 schools. Principal, who do you plan to make? Hashirama asked. Sarutobi Hiruzen, Udotane Kaharu, Midokado Homura, they are all veteran Jonin in Konoha. It is perfectly fine to leave it to them. Mirror smiled. Oh, I thought you wouldn't let them gain rights. I heard those ninjas say that you seem to deliberately exclude the colleagues you once worked with. Now it seems. You don't seem to have that idea, Hashirama said. Of course, if Danzo hadn't rebelled against the village, these 4 principles would have been his. What a pity. Chapter 179 Sarutobi Hiruzen drank too much and got drunk, an invitation from an old friend. Advertisement Uchiha Kagami sighed. The power structure in Konoha is now obvious. The Hokage does not need the help of the Hokage to grow, even one more person will get in the way. But the 3 of them used to be bodyguards for the 2nd generation, and there was no room for advancement for the veteran Jonin, so he could only change his direction. Teaching and educating people was a good choice. He wasn't actually targeting them, it's just that these people can impart knowledge, but if they really have power, they don't know it. Originally, he didn't want to target Danzo. Pity, Danzo was ignorant, he actually attacked the Uchiha clan. Senju Hashirama asked curiously, so there are only 3 candidates for the principal. Who is left? Who do you plan to appoint? Tsunade or Jiraiya, Orochimaru doesn't care, Mirror said. I don't want it, I might as well stay at home and drink, Tsunade refused. Then Jiraiya, he is also very suitable for teaching and educating people, but who will be the principal of a specific branch needs to be considered a little bit. Are the 4 principals higher than Jonin? Are they all on the same level? Of course, second only to me as the root leader. Then these 4 branches need a principal, right? To manage these 4 principals, if the 4 principals disagree, they can't fight, right? Hashirama asked. Then this candidate must be my eldest brother. Huh? Me? Hashirama was stunned. Yes, that's you. Uchiha Kagami shrugged his shoulders. I finally retired. You have been resurrected for a long time, and it's time to do something. Originally, I wanted my second brother to come. After all, he founded the Ninja Academy. The academy has evolved into a ninja school, but the second brother hasn't had enough rest yet, so we have to let the eldest brother come.
Okay, let me do it. Hashirama didn't refuse. On the contrary, I am happy to do this job.
Regarding the reform of ninja schools, he also wanted to see the results. Can more outstanding young people appear in Konoha? I am also looking forward to the growth of these children. If there can be another genius like Uchiha Kagami, surpassing him as the god of ninja, it would be so gratifying. Uchiha Kagami said, I'm going to talk to Fugaku first and hold a collective high-level meeting within the clan. Although I can make the decision on this matter, it still needs to go through a process. Brother, I'm leaving. Yeah, go and do your work. Hashirama said. By the way, how many families are there in Konoha? Uchiha Kagami asked. The Uchiha clan, the Hyuga clan, the Nara, Akamichi, and Yamanaka clans are all relatively large clans, and the rest are the Aburame clan, the Inuzuka clan, the Shimura clan, and the Sarutobi clan, which are considered medium-sized clans in comparison. Senju Hashirama replied, "There are too many small clans to count. If you want to get it done at once, I suggest that you directly summon all the clan leaders to discuss reforming the school." "The Shimura clan, is it Shimura Danzo's clan?" Jing asked. "Yes. Understood." Uchiha Kagami left. He went straight to Fugaku's house and brought Shisui with him. And Konoha village. Baijinan Club on Center Street. At the gate, there was a man with slightly gray hair and a beard on his chin. He looked a little weathered, but his face was a little red, obviously he had drunk too much, and there was a man and a woman supporting him. Advertisement: "This club is nice, the technicians are very skilled, and they look good." Sarutobi Hiruzen waved his hand and said nonchalantly, "It's a bit expensive, but I can come again next time. Next time I want 2 technicians. Let one of us massage my feet and the other one of me massage my back, hee hee." "Hiruzen, I told you. Drink less." Midokado Homura said helplessly. "The wines in this club are all specially made spirits. They are not at the same level as what we drank before. You will easily get drunk if you drink too much at one time. We will send you back now." "No, I don't want it, I'm not drunk," Sarutobi Hiruzen said vaguely. "Hurry up, rub my feet first, don't rub your hands. You 2 technicians, your skills are a bit rusty. Be careful, I will complain to you. Do you know who I am? I am a direct disciple of Second Hokage, a colleague of Uchiha Kagami. We have fought together and have a close friendship. He and Danzo were my best brothers, woo woo woo." Yudadane Kaharu complained. "You think we are technicians, and you are not drunk yet? Come on, Homura. Send him home together. I know he called us here this time just to get drunk. He started talking nonsense when he was drunk. Look what he said. We were once the best brothers, but now Jing and he are no longer brothers, although this is true. But if word spreads, the impact won't be very good, right? It's not his fault. After all, Hiruzen once had ideals, but..." Midokado Homura didn't finish. It stops as they get older. They all wanted to contribute to Konoha with high spirits. Hiruzen was originally designated as the third Hokage by his teacher, but later he became his disciple. When Hiruzen was young, he was actually a little bitter and not jealous. But now that Hiruzen thinks about the past, he feels more and more unbalanced. He is a disciple of Second Hokage, the most valued student by his teacher. Even though he is older now, he can still contribute to Konoha as a ninja. Even if you can't be a Hokage, at least, let them do something a little bit, right? But after so many years, Jing has taken over the power alone. Even Hokage has to give his approval for everything he does. Of course, Minato trusts Minato and doesn't care about these details, but Minato considers himself young, so when he encounters major issues, he will come to him to discuss them. In Minato's opinion, this is respect for the teacher. But in the eyes of Hiruzen and the others, it feels very unpleasant. They have accomplished nothing now. Even though they are veteran Jonin, they were once escorts for the second generation. Jonin was the starting point for them, but now it is the end. For Hiruzen, this was too much to accept. The 2 of them helped Hiruzen and arrived at Hiruzen's home. Sarutobi Hiruzen was lying on the bed, mumbling something. I'm not willing. Hey, have a good rest." Yudadane Kaharu and Midokado Homura gave a few words of comfort. Then they looked at each other, sighed and left. But just left not long ago, there was a knock at the door. Tuck tuck tuck. The knock on the door was a little urgent. This made Sarutobi Hiruzen angry and staggered to the door. When he opened the door, he found no one outside, except for a folded note at the crack of the door. Are the kids playing pranks? Sarutobi Hiruzen bent down, picked up the note and opened it casually. There wasn't much written inside, but the familiar handwriting woke him up. Monkey, how are you these years? Your old friend wants to talk to you alone. See you at the same place. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Shimura Danzo. Close black lens bracket. Chapter 180 Danzo and Hiruzen conspired. Shocking inside story. Advertisement. Quote exclamation mark quote. What? Danzo is still alive. See the content. Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly exclaimed in his heart. He quickly closed the door tightly and stared at the content on the note. After careful observation several times, I found that it was indeed the handwriting of an old friend. How is that possible? Wasn't Danzo killed in Rain Shinobi village? Why is he still alive? In other words, he simply faked his death. Or is it another possibility? But what does he want from me? Should I tell Jing? Forget it, let's meet him first and see what he wants to talk to me about. Sarutobi Hiruzen struggled for a moment. He put the paper away and raised his hand to make a seal. Let the clone stay at home and pretend to be the real person, while he himself walked out of Konoha and came to the dense jungle in the back mountain. The jungle in the mountains behind Konoha is huge. Sarutobi Hiruzen walked through the jungle and came to a small river in the back mountain. He just sat on a stone by the river and waited quietly until a person came out from behind the trees. There is a bandage on his head and an X-shaped scar on his chin. But his face is covered with cracks, which are obviously symbols of impure world reincarnation. As expected, you were resurrected by impure world reincarnation. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at him. Can you tell me how you escaped from death? I heard that the kid named Nagato is quite powerful. Originally,
I was indeed going to die, but I fell into the sea, was saved by White Zetsu, and then was resurrected by the masked man with impure world reincarnation. Danzo answered.
I see. Aren't you worried that I won't come? Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned. Of course I won't worry. I know you. You're my best friend.
Shimura Danzo looked at him calmly. When you were young, you were very high-spirited and wanted to dedicate everything to Konoha village. Even the teacher valued you. You were originally supposed to be the third Hokage, but everything was ruined by that person. That person was also our best friend. Do you regret it? Do you regret not fighting with me in the first place? Resist. Fall into rebellion. I don't want to go to this point. Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head. Rebel the village. Do you still think it's my fault to this day? Okay. Shimura Danzo said gloomily. It was indeed my fault that I targeted Sharingan of the Uchiha clan, but aside from all this, wasn't he Uchiha Kagami right? At the time, the teacher's life and death were unknown, and we had hoped to become the top leaders of Konoha. Quote. Dedicated to Konoha, and later the teacher survived. I admit that this is all thanks to Kaoru, but did he agree to us later? Did he agree to us, to elect us as Hokage? What was the result? He thinks one thing on the surface but another behind the scenes. In fact, he has excluded the two of us a long time ago and plans to elect your disciple Orochimaru to become the third Hokage. In the end, we are just like fools and have been deceived and lost everything. Uchiha Kagami is a naked villain. If he really didn't have that intention back then, he might as well not have deceived us. Why would he deceive our feelings? He doesn't deserve to be our friend at all.
Sarutobi Hiruzen was silent. Advertisement. If he were younger, he might have retorted, but after so many years, he is no longer as innocent as he was back then, or it can be said that he has been holding grudges for a long time. From their personal perspective, they haven't done anything yet, not even to the top. Being identified by Uchiha Kagami as the bane of Konoha's future, to be honest, made them feel a little too inhuman.
They didn't do anything. Why do you think so? The key is.
Second generation currently has a very good relationship with the mirror. Directly believing in mirror's reasons, the two of them left the center of Konoha's power.
From Uchiha Kagami's perspective, these two people did not do anything in the original work, dividing the power of Konoha, and constantly fighting. It can be said that the two people are not strong, but they like to cause trouble. This is the root cause of Konoha's decline. Therefore, he directly blocked the two people's channels for promotion. There is no problem in doing this, which is also a huge reason for Sarutobi and Danzo's dissatisfaction. Especially since Sarutobi Hiruzen is older and no longer distinguishes right from wrong as he did when he was young. He feels that what Danzo said just now is indeed very reasonable. It was the mirror that deceived them in the first place.
Hiruzen, you really agree with me, Danzo said. I didn't. Hiruzen shook his head.
You didn't. I know you too well. If you thought what I said was wrong, you would have refuted me long ago instead of being silent like now. Shimura Danzo sneered. He Uchiha Kagami is unkind, and he still blames me for dealing with the Uchiha clan. It's really ridiculous. I devoted myself wholeheartedly to Konoha, but I fell to the end of a traitor. It's a big joke in the world.
Now that Uchiha Kagami has taken over all the power, what kind of power have you, Sarutobi Hiruzen, gained? None, right? You're still just a Jonin. And you're still an ordinary Jonin who can't squeeze into the center of power. Are you willing to continue to be so decadent? Sarutobi Hiruzen retorted. What can I do? You have been dead for so many years. Do you understand Uchiha Kagami's current strength? It's useless for me to fight. The mirror will not let me gain power, and I don't want to betray the village. I don't need you to rebel against the village. You can help me by staying in Konoha, Shimura Danzo said. What are you going to do? Sarutobi Hiruzen became vigilant. Danzo, let me tell you, if you want to harm Konoha through me, then I will never let you succeed. I will even report you to the mirror. How could I harm Konoha? I am doing it for the future of Konoha. Shimura Danzo said quietly. Look at the current situation in the ninja world. Konoha is now the target of public criticism, especially Uchiha Kagami. Actually wants to try to unify the ninja world. After hiding for so many years, he finally exposed his ambitions. Like Uchiha Madara back then, he is a complete militant. Once the fourth ninja war begins, our Konoha will be attacked in groups. By then, Konoha will be completely in danger. Do you want to Konoha will be destroyed because of this? What if the mirror can destroy other ninja villages? Sarutobi Hiruzen muttered. How is that possible? No matter how weak the other ninja villages are, their combined strength cannot be underestimated. Moreover, no matter how strong Uchiha Kagami is, there are still people who can deal with him. Danzo said confidently. Who is it? Who can clean up the mirror? Let me tell you the inside story. Just a month ago, the masked man resurrected Uchiha Madara. What? Are you sure? Chapter 181I, Shimura Danzo, and the Light of Konoha. Advertisement. Sarutobi Hiruzen was stunned. The shocked mouth can fit a duck egg. Uchiha Madara, the only being who can rival the god of ninja. Senju Hashirama may be more influential than the former, but Uchiha Madara's deterrence is stronger than Hashirama. After all, Onoki initially sought an alliance. But being beaten by this person caused a shadow in my heart. As a result, he finally got out of the shadows, but was beaten by Uchiha Kagami again and made him doubt his life. Of course, I saw it with my own eyes. Danzo sneered. The masked man was originally in the name of Madara, but later the three people sent by the mirror were seriously injured and almost died.
He was finally saved by Yakushi Kabuto and immediately resurrected Uchiha Madara. Let me tell you another amazing secret. In fact, after Uchiha Madara was resurrected, he immediately went to Konoha and planned to steal 9 tails, but was stopped by someone, and that person was First Hokage. What? The First Hokage is resurrected too? Sarutobi Hiruzen was shocked and murmured. Yes, there was indeed a riot in Konoha for a while, but it was covered up by the 4th Hokage. I am still surprised. What happened? The 4th Hokage mobilized a large number of Anbu. Quote.
I never thought that Uchiha Madara would come to attack Konoha. No, if the first Hokage-sama and Uchiha Madara fight, Konoha will not survive. There is a high probability that it will be razed to the ground.
Why are you safe? What happened? Of course it was Uchiha Kagami. He used the Flying Thunder God to divert Uchiha Madara and Senju Hashirama and had a great battle on the southern coast of Konoha.
Shimura Danzo sneered. But I originally thought that Senju Hashirama was superior, but I didn't expect that Uchiha Madara had already surpassed his heyday and defeated Senju Hashirama. Even Uchiha Kagami was too scared to take action. Even the first Hokage is no match for Madara. Why do you think Uchiha Kagami can blast all the major ninja villages? Konoha will be destroyed in the hands of Kagami. We must stop him, for the future of Konoha. Hiruzen, you are the only one who can help me. Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't calm down for a long time. My heart was filled with ups and downs, the amount of news was too great.
Uchiha Madara and Senju Hashirama have both been resurrected. These two are undoubtedly the top beings in the ninja world, but Uchiha Madara has been planning for many years. He has already surpassed the former Senju Hashirama, and even defeated Senju Hashirama.
Uchiha Kagami, too scared to take action. This seems normal, but given Jing's character.
Even if he can't beat him, he will most likely test it out, so he won't be so scared that he won't even dare to take action, right?
He always felt that something was wrong with this.
But before he had time to think about it, Shimura Danzo started to confuse him again.
Hiruzen, don't hesitate anymore. Konoha will only perish in Uchiha Kagami's hands. As the masters of justice, we must stop him. Sarutobi Hiruzen was moved and hesitated for a moment. How to stop it? Although you and I are capable, we can't participate in a battle of this level. Just because you can't participate now doesn't mean you won't be able to participate in the future.
You only need to keep an eye on Uchiha Kagami now, keep track of his movements, and tell me if anything big happens in the village. We will wait for the opportunity to save Konoha. Shimura Danzo said.
How do I contact you? White Zetsu cannot sneak into Konoha, Hiruzen asked. Advertisement, it's simple. My brother Koji will send someone to contact you. That's why I gave the note to you, Danzo said.
Okay, got it, Sarutobi Hiruzen said seriously. Danzo, I am here for Konoha, but remember. Uchiha Madara is not a good person. We need to borrow their power to deal with Uchiha Kagami instead of surrendering to him. Of course I know. Danzo wasn't done yet. Sarutobi Hiruzen's expression changed slightly, and he said hurriedly, the shadow clone I left in the village was released by myself. Uchiha Kagami summoned all the big families to discuss a major matter. I must go back, otherwise I will be suspected by the mirror.
What's the big deal? Is there any inside story? Danzo asked. It seems to be related to the secret techniques of the major clans. Mirror seems to want to reform the ninja school and train the next generation of outstanding young ninjas, so he wants the major clans to hand over some secret techniques. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked ugly. Bullshit. This is all Jing's conspiracy, Shimura Danzo said angrily. He is not trying to cultivate the next generation, but is trying to destroy the major clans in Konoha so that he can maintain his supreme dominance in Konoha. He is even a despicable villain. Let all the major clans be exterminated, isn't that right? Hiruzen said in shock. Shimura Danzo said with a sinister look. Why not? Uchiha Kagami asked the big clans to hand over all their secrets so that the humble commoners would be grateful to him. And the big clans have stood tall in Konoha village for so many years. Isn't it just these secret techniques that are kept secret? If everyone learns this, how can the major clans survive? Sooner or later, they will be like those common people. This is Uchiha Kagami's conspiracy. Is it so scary? Sarutobi Hiruzen was horrified. He thinks Danzo seems to be right. If Uchiha Kagami really contributed to this matter, all the major clans would sooner or later disappear in the history of the ninja world. And he, the Sarutobi clan. Of course, there are also secret techniques for keeping the bottom of the box. In addition to the amazing fire-style ninjutsu, he also signed a summoning contract with the Sarutobi clan for generations. Even if he, Sarutobi Hiruzen, dies, his descendants can still bind the contract with the Sarutobi clan. This is also an important reason why their clan can continue from the Sengoku period to the present day.
But, if such an important contract is handed over,
he must be unhappy if someone else gets involved. But, Sarutobi Hiruzen asked hurriedly, since Uchiha Kagami plans to do this, he must be sure. You and I both know his character. I'm afraid we can't stop him.
Shimura Danzo said with determination. I know, don't worry about the other clans, just try your best to persuade them. If they want to lick the big buttocks of the mirror, let them lick it. Anyway, you Sarutobi clan and I, Shimura clan, just firmly oppose it. In my opinion, most of the branch house clans are definitely not happy, but due to Uchiha Kagami's face, they can't refuse, but as long as we are the ones who stand out, other clans may not support us. Quote.
Okay, I understand, the clone is not here, I have to go back as soon as possible. Okay, you go first. If you have any news, ask Shimura Koji to contact me. He is the leader of my Shimura clan. Most of the clan members are trustworthy people. Yeah, I'm leaving. Sarutobi Hiruzen left quickly. Shimura Danzo looked at the back of his old friend with a flash of struggle on his face. Doing this, will it harm the monkey? No, it won't. I do this all for Konoha. I am always right. Uchiha Kagami is the darkness of Konoha. I, Shimura Danzo, am the light of Konoha. Chapter 182 The True Identity of the Masked Man? Danzo's Plan. Advertisement. He has a good relationship with Hiruzen. Although when I was young, there were often some quarrels and struggles.
But because Uchiha Kagami prevented the two from taking over, the two old friends did not have cracks in their relationship due to a power struggle like in the original work.
Therefore, the relationship between the two is very close. In addition, both of them have been targeted by the mirror, so they can be said to have the same problem. It is precisely for this reason and out of the relationship between close friends that he is also worried about Hiruzen's safety. If he is discovered by the mirror, with that guy's ruthless heart, he will definitely kill Hiruzen. By the time, will you regret it? I don't know then, but now I can only bite the bullet and go down. Just when Shimura Danzo looked complicated, the space in front of him became distorted, and the masked man slowly walked out. Why are you here? Are you worried that I can't handle Hiruzen? Danzo frowned.
I'm really worried. After all, last time I asked you to come forward to instigate Nagato, you were provoked into action by Yahiko with just a few words, and you were directly killed by Nagato. Madara-sama asked me to keep an eye on you. The masked man said straightforwardly.
Nima and *%. Danzo cursed in his heart. This man really doesn't save any face for himself. The masked man sneered. What, do you think you're losing face? If you had the ability, Madara-sama wouldn't let me come. Shimura Danzo stared at the Sharingan under his mask and said in a bad tone. I am also a direct disciple of Second Hokage after all, and you are a young boy left behind by the Uchiha clan. When facing your elders, shouldn't you be more respectful?
Respect? Why should I respect you? The masked man said disdainfully. Back then, Senju Tobirama was spying on my Uchiha clan, as if we were a group of restless saboteurs. Back then, I launched the coup, just to vent my anger.
Although I failed, I am not as young as you think, and you are not a few years older than me. Danzo, don't lecture me like an elder, you are not qualified. I'm not qualified, then I'll let you see it. Shimura Danzo took out a kunai. He was about to stab the opponent, but the masked man made a seal with one hand. After forcibly controlling his filthy body, Shimura Danzo's expression became stiff and his tone became sluggish. Masked man. Who are you? It doesn't matter who I am, what's important is to be respectful. The masked man walked over and patted his face with his palm. Black Zetsu is Madara-sama's will. And I am Madara-sama's shadow. Anyone who prevents Madara-sama from completing his ideals is my enemy. You are Senju disciple of Tobirama. If Madara-sama hadn't asked me to spare your life, I would have killed you long ago. Shimura Danzo, you are just a lost dog now. Figure out your status, otherwise, don't blame me for being merciless. Shimura Danzo gritted his teeth. My heart grew colder and colder. But he knew that getting angry now would do nothing. Because he was defiled by the masked man, he has all the control.
Once you anger this guy, if you erase your own emotions and will, then you will really be no different from a puppet.
But this guy doesn't dare to erase it at will. After all, Uchiha Madara has too few available manpower. A puppet can only be used as cannon fodder. There must be someone with independent consciousness who can share some things, Shimura Danzo thought secretly in his heart.
Only, advertisement. It's not good to be controlled by others all the time. I have to find a way to let the monkey steal the Book of Seals, which records the method of lifting impure world reincarnation. Even if I can't steal it, I have to record it so that I can get rid of control.
But having said that, the masked man said that he is not young, so maybe he is the same age as me. No, there is no way I don't know the excellent Uchiha who is the same age as me. So maybe he is the same age as Kagami. Just wait, sooner or later I will figure out who you are. The next day, early in the morning. In the Konoha conference hall. This is a newly built hall specially used for high-level meetings. The hall is very large, with seats placed on the left and right sides, and there are only 3 seats at the front. Sitting in the first seat in the middle is naturally the 4th Hokage, Namikaze Minato. On the left, Uchiha Kagami is sitting on it with his eyes closed, and on the right is Senju Hashirama, who is wearing a mask. His true identity is not known to outsiders for the time being. At this time, everyone hasn't arrived yet, and it's not time for the meeting yet. Namikaze Minato whispered, Teacher, why don't you take the first seat? Or, let Shodai sit, I am a junior. No, just come and sit. Uchiha Kagami shook his head. Minato, you are the current Hokage, and I am only the leader of the root organization. Although the eldest brother is the first Hokage, but has resigned, you are the unquestionable first leader of the village. After all, there are outsiders here, so you should have the proper etiquette. That's right, Minato, just come and sit. I don't care about the seat. Senju Hashirama smiled innocently. Thank you teacher, thank you first Hokage-sama. Minato hasn't finished speaking yet. Suddenly, a root ninja wearing a mask appeared in front of him. And he was Uchiha Yashira, the captain of the root organization. He walked up to Uchiha Kagami and whispered in his ear. Lord Patriarch. There is something strange going on in the Shimura clan. They have come into contact with Sarutobi Hiruzen.
Tell me in detail. Jing said. Yes, according to your instructions, we have been keeping an eye on the Shimura clan recently. The clan leader of the Shimura clan was originally Shimura Danzo. Later, after Danzo died, his younger brother Shimura Koji took over as the clan leader.
Uchiha Yashira said respectfully. But just last night, after Sarutobi Hiruzen, Udatane Kaharu, and Midokado Homura consumed money at Konoha's wife Fang Jinhan, Sarutobi Hiruzen was drunk and was sent home by the other two and left. But someone suddenly knocked on Sarutobi Hiruzen's door and left a note. Then not long after, Sarutobi Hiruzen left, leaving a shadow clone specifically. I think it is very suspicious. Do you think the person who contacted Hiruzen was a member of the Shimura clan? Uchiha Kagami asked. That's right. Who do you think Hiruzen met when he went out? I don't know. This is what surprised me. I thought he went out to meet Koji Shimura for personal gain. However, after a follow-up investigation by my team members, I found that Koji Shimura did not leave the family, Yashira said strangely. I understand. Go down and continue to keep an eye on the Shimura clan. Uchiha Kagami waved his hand. By the way, the Sarutobi clan is also watching. If anything happens, please report to me at any time. Yes, Mr. Patriarch. Uchiha Yashira left in an instant. Minato and Hashirama were curious though as they saw the people at the roots appear and leave. But seeing that Jing didn't want to explain, they didn't take the initiative to ask. Chapter 183 Even if I, Shimura Koji, die, I will never let you succeed. Advertisement time passes little by little. The heads of the major clans arrived one after another.
First is Uchiha Fugaku, the deputy chief of the Uchiha clan, then Hyuga Hiyashi of the Hyuga clan, then Akamaiki Choza of the Akamaiki clan, Nara Shikaku of the Nara clan, and Yamanaka Hiyashi of the Yamanaka clan.
And then, it's Sarutobi Hiruzen, Shimura Koji. There is also Uzumaki Kushina who represents the Uzumaki clan. Although the Uzumaki clan has been exterminated, Minato is a Hokage after all, and he also formed a family and had a descendant, Uzumaki Naruto. As a wealthy family, they definitely cannot be absent. Then there are Inuzuka Inazuma and Aburame Shuei. There were a total of 10 major clans present, all of whom were prominent figures in Konoha. It can even be said that any clan leader present can be regarded as the shadow of other villages in terms of strength alone, and this is only a small part of the elite of Konoha village, except for the Jonin of the major clans. I've seen Master Hokage, I've seen Master Mirror. Everyone just arrived. Uchiha Fugaku started and led everyone to salute. Namikaze Minato looked at everyone and was filled with emotion, and stood up gently. Everyone, without courtesy, please take a seat. Thank you, Hokage-sama. All the heads of the major clans sat down. Of course, this seat is not for anyone to sit on. After all, there are 5 seats in each row, and the seats closer to the front have different meanings. Of course, Uchiha Fugaku is the first seat on the left, closest to the family leader Uchiha Kagami, and on the other side is the whirlpool Kushina. As the wife of Hokage, she cannot be inferior to others even if the family declines. All that's left is the Hyuga clan, known as the strongest family in Konoha. They should have some respect. Next are the heads of the 3 major families of Ino Shikacho, then Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Koji, and then Inuzuka and Aburame Shuei. Everyone has no objections, at least on the surface. The first person to speak was naturally Namikaze Minato as Hokage. He wanted to show that Hokage supported the matter. Fellow clan leaders, I won't make small talk. You should know some inside stories. Konoha will reform the ninja school and strengthen the quality training of the future generation of ninjas. But cultivating excellent ninjas depends not only on means, but also on top-notch ninjutsu, taijutsu, illusions, swordsmanship, etc. Therefore, each major clan needs to hand over some for a fee so that the reform can proceed smoothly. I wonder what you clan leaders think. As soon as these words came out, everyone present fell silent. With the exception of Uchiha Fugaku, everyone else is either superficially calm, or some of them couldn't even keep it on their faces, especially the corners of Shimura Koji's mouth twitched, as if he was holding back the urge to curse. As for the other clan leaders, naturally, they also resisted in their hearts, but no one was willing to take the initiative to object. After all, Hokage spoke out in person, and with the support of people like Uchiha Kagami, who dared to be the first to speak out against it. Just when everyone was silent, Uchiha Fugaku came forward and said very calmly, I think the benefits of reform outweigh the disadvantages. We in Konoha do need to cultivate a better young generation. But the major clans have their own skills in their own hands.
It is not conducive to the development of the next generation. On behalf of the Uchiha clan and the wishes of the clan leader, I am willing to donate ninjutsu for free, including but not limited to advanced ninjutsu, such as fire style, Uchiha style swordsmanship, etc.
As soon as these words came out, everyone was shocked. Advertisement they though thought Uchiha Kagami supported reforming the ninja school. He would definitely let the Uchiha clan be the representative, but he never expected that they would be so courageous and would hand over high-level ninjutsu as soon as they came up. This leaves absolutely no room for other wealthy clans. But, because there is support, as a result, no one present dared to object. Minato looked at Fugaku and showed a smile. Clan Chief Fugaku knows the general situation. I will replace the younger generation in the future. Thank you, Chief Fugaku. You're welcome, this is what I should do, Fugaku replied. Does anyone still support it? Or, everyone's silence means they acquiesce? I support it too. Akamichi Tingza stood up. He has a fat body and an unnatural look on his face. Nara Shikaku and Yamanaka Hai were all shocked. Looking at the chubby man, they suddenly felt like there was a mole in their hearts. You thick eyebrows and big eyes. Everyone was unhappy at first. Why did you suddenly change your mind? None of them believed that Akamichi Tingzao was the kind of person who wanted to follow the crowd, but they couldn't think of a reason for this guy to rebel. And Akamichi Dingza's support. It's one thing to make the faces of everyone present change. It's one thing for a big family to support you. But if two big clans jointly support it, then it is no longer a concept. Is there really no way to refuse? And seeing the ugly faces of the two friends, Akamichi Dingzao glanced at Uchiha Kagami on the left side of the first seat, and whispered helplessly. Actually, I also want to refuse. But the old man in my family asked me to support him. If he doesn't agree, he will remove me as the clan leader, you said. Can I not agree? Who can remove you from your position as clan leader? Yamanaka was surprised. I see. Is it the Akamichi Feng, the previous clan leader? One of Second Hokage's bodyguards, and a colleague of Kagami. I heard that they have a close personal relationship, so it's no wonder you can't object. Nara Shikaku guessed. Yes, that old man is old now and has a bad temper. He might even get beaten. It's not worth the loss. And last night, Master Jing came to our clan and talked to the old man for the rest of the night, and he must have been convinced.
Akamichi Dingzao said helplessly. The authoritative elders in the family don't object, so my objection is useless. Do you think this is the truth?
Well, it seems we have no choice. Nara Shikaku understands. This seems to be the general trend. At least no one objected openly, then no one dared to object at all. But suddenly, Shimura Koji stood up. The appearance is similar to Shimura Danzo. Except that there is no scar on the chin, the cold temperament on the face is very similar, even worse. I object. On behalf of the Shimura clan, I oppose this decision. I saw someone taking the lead. The other tribes were overjoyed and did not immediately express their attitude. Minato frowned and was about to say something. Uchiha Kagami stood up and looked at him and Sarutobi Hiruzen next to him, his eyes full of teasing. Your name is Shimura Koji? Are you Danzo's biological brother? That's right, Shimura Koji said angrily. Why do you ask us to hand over our secret techniques? How much have the major clans contributed to Konoha? How many ninjas have died? You still ask us to contribute the secret techniques of each family? Your move is no less than let us exterminate the clan. Heads of the clan, wake up. This is naked conspiracy and oppression, and wherever there is oppression, there is resistance. I, Shimura Koji, will never let you succeed even if I die. Chapter 184 Seeking Death, Stupid Shimura Koji Advertisement. FK. Is this man so brave? The other clan leaders were shocked. I never expected Shimura Koji to be so awesome. Even if you don't agree, you should at least refuse politely, right? But if you say this, aren't you driving yourself towards death? Uchiha Kagami is also one of the top figures now. You treat others like this. You are really not afraid of death. Namikaze Minato's face turned livid. Defend your teacher immediately. Chief Shimura Koji, I advise you to be more respectful. My teacher is devoted to the village and has never wanted to wipe out the major tribes. Please don't scare me here. Haha. Am I being alarmist? It's obviously your teacher who has ulterior motives and monopolizes the power of the village. Even Hokage like you is a puppet, and you are still defending your teacher? What a stupid guy.
Shimura Koji sneered. He asked us to hand over the secret technique just to fulfill his ambition to unify the ninja world. What he said about reforming the ninja school are all his lies. Sooner or later, the ninja world will perish in his hands. Quote.
As soon as these words came out, the expressions of everyone present changed. This guy Shimura Koji speaks so openly that he offends the fourth Hokage. He also slandered Uchiha Kagami, who is the new legend of the ninja world, to his face. He is really crazy. The key thing is, since the fourth Hokage took over, the reputation has actually been very good. But in the eyes of these senior executives, Namikaze Minato is indeed no different from a puppet, but everyone tacitly understands it and does not criticize it. But by saying this, Koji Shimura, aren't you trying to deliberately drive a wedge between Uchiha Kagami and Namikaze Minato? Everyone looked at each other with doubts in their hearts. What happened to Koji Shimura? In the past, I had always been tolerant and steady, and I didn't mainly stir up trouble. But now they are directly quarreling with each other, without even sparing any face. Could it be that his brother Danzo was killed and he has gone completely crazy? Puppet. Namikaze Minato was angry. The teacher does have all the power in the village. But he has never interfered with many of Konoha's political decisions. It can even be said that he is completely free to handle them by himself. Even if the first Hokage is resurrected, he has never interfered with his rights as the fourth Hokage. Therefore, he never considered himself a puppet as the fourth Hokage. But, in the eyes of outsiders, this may not necessarily be the case. But he couldn't tolerate these people trying to instigate their master-disciple relationship. Just when he couldn't help but want to get angry, Uchiha Kagami patted his shoulder and slowly came to Shimura Koji. Shimura Koji, I thought you were a smart person. But I didn't expect you to be so stupid, or where did you get the confidence to think that I wouldn't dare to kill you? I'm just doing it for the village. Your decision will only plunge Konoha into a state of eternal disaster. You can kill me, but if you kill one of me, there will be thousands of me, Koji Shimura said harshly. Haha, you keep saying it's for the village, but in the end everything you do is selfish. You and Shimura Danzo are indeed brothers. Both are equally shameless and extremely hypocritical. Uchiha Kagami said sarcastically. Are you humiliating me? Shimura Koji said angrily. Yes, I'm just humiliating you. Uchiha Kagami said disdainfully. Compared with your brother, Koji Shimura, your brother is somewhat self-aware and will tolerate it when he knows that he is not strong enough. And what about you? Are you so brave to jump horizontally repeatedly? You really lost your temper with me, Uchiha Kagami. Let me tell you, Shimura Koji, since you want to die so much today, then I will make it happen for you. The words just fell. Uchiha Kagami raised his right hand. Advertisement lightning suddenly appeared in the palm of his hand, and the Chidori turned into a sharp spear. Poof! It pierced directly through his abdomen. Blood seeped out from the corners of Shimura Koji's mouth and he fell to the ground. There was pain on his face, but he was more horrified in his heart. He never expected that the other party would really dare to kill him. Especially, in full view. Are you so cruel to yourself? Not to mention him, everyone was shocked and couldn't sit still.
Afraid of getting into trouble with Uchiha Kagami and ending up like Koji Shimura.
Why, that's enough, third brother, suddenly. At this time, before everyone has recovered from the situation, the person sitting on the right side of the fourth Hokage slowly stood up. He wore a mask on his face, and under everyone's surprised eyes, he looked at Uchiha Kagami. Rescue him. Koji can't die yet, you should understand what I mean. I know, but I don't want to. Uchiha Kagami was reluctant. Huh? You don't listen to Big Brother anymore? Okay, for your sake, I'll spare his life. Uchiha Kagami pouted. I reluctantly started treating him. Under the superb medical ninjutsu, Shimura Koji's penetrating injury recovered as before, but his face was pale due to excessive blood loss. But after this death warning, he sat on the chair without saying a word, obviously frightened. The other clan leaders were all sitting upright. It was obvious that Uchiha Kagami had just directly killed people, making everyone behave. Only, what makes them a little curious is, someone actually managed to cure the lawless Uchiha Kagami. And he actually called Uchiha Kagami his third brother. It seems that only Senju Tobirama can call him this, right? But isn't Senju Tobirama dead long ago? When everyone was surprised, Senju Hashirama slowly took off the mask. His true face was revealed, and when he saw the face of the person in front of him, everyone was shocked and speechless, and his dull expression was clearly revealed. First Hokage-sama? F***CK. You're actually resurrected? Sorry, I didn't know it was you in person, so please forgive me. All the clan leaders were very worried. When everyone faces Uchiha Kagami, they are actually more afraid and nervous. But there is definitely respect and awe for the legend of the new ninja world, but compared with Senju Hashirama, the latter is obviously more admirable. Why? Quite simply, Senju Hashirama was the pioneer. He was an important person who changed the war period in the ninja world and changed the world structure. And he united all the major clans to create Konoha. Not only was he admirable in terms of strength, but also in terms of personality and charm, no one could match him. Chapter 185. Do you look down on 4th Hokage? Advertisement? For the young patriarchs here. In fact, the feeling is not that big, but for the older patriarch. Especially the moment Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Koji saw Senju Hashirama, they felt their hearts shaking uncontrollably. And Sarutobi Hiruzen, although he already knew the inside story. But seeing Senju Hashirama in person, I still couldn't help feeling excited and terrified. No problem. You didn't know you had been resurrected a long time ago, and this meeting. If my third brother hadn't forced me to come, I really wouldn't be interested.
Senju Hashirama waved his hand and said very humbly, it's just that my third brother is still young. He did say some words just now, which made everyone here feel a little uncomfortable. Please forgive me, I am the eldest brother. I will apologize to everyone here. No.
Don't dare, it's our main Lang. Yes, we were just too excited just now, it's not that we were unwilling to support. Everyone is being polite. Uchiha Kagami looked at the completely different faces of everyone. I couldn't help but sigh in my heart, it was the god of ninja who had to show up. As soon as they came forward, these clan leaders were all respectful. From the reluctance just now, they at least became no longer superficial. And this was exactly the purpose of bringing his eldest brother here. As for Shimura Koji, he knew that he definitely couldn't kill him. At least you can't kill him forcefully in front of everyone.
After all, Shimura Koji is the patriarch of the Shimura family. If he is killed so openly, other clan leaders will also have some uncomfortable emotions, and may even think that their lives are difficult to protect themselves. But, this also acts as a deterrent. And since he, Uchiha Kagami, has become the red face, he naturally wants his eldest brother to be the scapegoat to appease everyone, and with his affinity, these people will definitely be appeased, thus promoting this preliminary reform plan as much as possible.
As for Shimura Koji, do you want to solve it after the fact? In fact, it is completely unnecessary. Why? Because of the pattern. Look at it from Uchiha Kagami's perspective. Shimura Koji is just a simple little character. There are 10,000 ways to kill him without involving himself. But, this is like an elephant trampling an ant to death. Maybe it doesn't matter if he is accidentally trampled to death, but he is not interested now, so let this guy continue to jump around. Only, Uchiha Kagami looked at Shimura Koji and said sarcastically in his heart, don't let me get caught, otherwise, I won't show mercy to you. It's not impossible to send you to see your brother when the time comes. After almost chatting for a while, everyone sat on their own chairs. Senju Hashirama was sitting on the right side of the first seat. He looked at everyone and said in a gentle tone, Children, I know you are actually reluctant. But we in Konoha do need reform. The ninja school has existed for too long. Advertisement. It's not that it's not good enough, but that we need a better system to replace it. I didn't think so before. But then I found that the ninja school is indeed no longer good, or it just teaches too little.
According to my understanding, the ninja school only needs to learn the three-body technique, and then you can directly graduate and become a ninja. Is that true? Hiruzen, please explain.
Yes, Shodai. Sarutobi Hiruzen said carefully. The three-body technique is divided into transformation technique, clone technique, and body replacement technique. These three ninjutsu are basic ninjutsu. But the ninja school does not only teach these courses. There are also history classes, theory classes, as well as tactics classes and ambush classes. Of course. These courses are the basics of the basics, but there are still many civilians who cannot learn them. I think reform is not very necessary. Really, since it is the foundation of foundations? Senju Hashirama said calmly. Commons with average talent can't learn. What do you think is the reason? Is it because the teachers in the school don't know how to teach? Or, civilians are not as good as the rich, so they can't learn normally? Sarutobi Hiruzen was worried, honestly. I think it's just not enough talent. Yes, the talent is not enough. The civilian talent is indeed not enough. Senju Hashirama's tone gradually rose. But I heard that there are many geniuses among civilian ninjas. Such as Hitaki Tsukumo's family, such as Kato Dan. Even my third brother praised this ninja's unique secret technique.
What about geniuses in physical arts? Some people may not be able to master ninjutsu, illusion, or swordsmanship, but they are only very talented in physical arts, or only in swordsmanship. So why not teach students in accordance with their aptitude?
Do you think that civilians are not talented enough? Is it because they have seen too little? Are they exposed to too little ninjutsu? What if they learn enough? Maybe unexpected talents will be discovered? And the ninja school only teaches three-body technique, this kind of basic ninjutsu. What if civilians don't happen to be talented in these three ninjutsu, but are more talented in one of them? Doesn't this require the help of all the noble families?
But, Shodai, Hyuga Hiyashi suddenly said solemnly, if this person doesn't know anything about ninjutsu, illusion, or swordsmanship, and only knows taijutsu, I think such a person is not qualified to become a ninja, and his destiny may be just to be an ordinary person. Quote. Oh, you think so? Senju Hashirama asked. Yes, I think destiny has its own destiny. Geniuses are born geniuses, and fools will always be fools. Even if he can improve a little bit through hard work, he will not be able to touch the threshold of genius. Hyuga Hiyashi said stubbornly, and my Hyuga clan is the strongest clan in Konoha. Most of the secret techniques must be coordinated with the Byakugan and cannot be contributed alone. Not to mention the secret arts of other big clans are also very difficult to learn. Even if a fool with some talent can learn it, he will not be able to surpass the geniuses of the big clans in his lifetime. What's the point of doing this?
Senju Hashirama frowned. He didn't expect this young Hyuga clan leader. He actually has a very stubborn idea of fools and geniuses.
What did he just want? Uchiha Kagami chuckled and said, Clan leader Hyuga, do you think that civilians will never be able to surpass the geniuses of the big clan in their lifetime? No one can't do it.
Yes. This is destiny. It cannot be changed. Hyuga Heishi is paranoid. In other words, this is the idea passed down from the Zong family. Geniuses are geniuses, idiots are idiots, and ordinary people want to surpass geniuses through hard work. Geniuses will only work harder than fools. And if a fool gets 10 points in return for his hard work, then if he works hard that day, he will get 100 points. What do you compare to that?
Okay, then let me ask you, my disciple, that is, Namikaze Minato, do you all know his strength? He almost single-handedly put down the Third Ninja World War, and has gained countless military exploits. Uchiha Kagami deliberately made things difficult. He succeeded to the position of Fourth Hokage not long after, and Minato was also born as a commoner. But with his current achievements, do you think he will not be able to compare with the geniuses of the rich clan? I now have reason to suspect that you look down on the Fourth Hokage. Chapter 186 We bet again, I bet my guy will lose. Advertisement. I didn't, don't slander me. Hyuga Hiyashi's old face turned red and said, Fourth Hokage-sama is gifted and naturally different from ordinary people. But the reason why he accumulated so many military exploits in the Third Ninja World War is because he is Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. Of course, I am not belittling Lord Hokage for using external power, but Lord Hokage is truly unprecedented in being able to tame Nine Tails, and should not be confused with those civilians. Oh, do you think Minato is useless without Nine Tails? Uchiha Kagami asked. Hyuga Hiyashi retorted helplessly, I didn't say that. Before he became Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, Master Fourth Hokage had already become famous in the ninja world with the Flying Thunder God technique. Of course I know that. I admit that there are indeed ordinary people with strong talents, but those are special cases among special cases. Even if we contribute our secret skills, how many elites like Lord Fourth Hokage can we cultivate? So I think this is a complete waste of time. It's not that I don't agree with the reform, but this kind of reform doesn't make any sense. Those civilians can't even learn the three-body technique, how can they learn more advanced ninjutsu? Not to mention, there is no such thing as teaching students in accordance with their aptitude. If there is a guy who only knows taijutsu but doesn't know genjutsu or ninjutsu, then such a ninja, even if he is a genius in taijutsu, is not qualified to be a ninja.
The words came out. All the heads of the major clans present.
Except for Uchiha Fugaku and Minato's wife. The other clan leaders all nodded secretly, thinking that this statement was actually quite reliable. On the one hand, they are unwilling to hand over the secret technique, and on the other hand, they are worried that if they hand over the secret technique, the civilians will learn nonsense, but it will bring shame to all races. This is the honor of the great clan and cannot be tarnished by others. Even Senju Hashirama was in trouble, but fortunately Uchiha Kagami glanced at the audience, stood up, and did not look angry at all. Instead, he spoke in a calm tone. Fellow clan leaders, it seems that you all agree with what the Hyuga clan leader just said. Do you think that hard work cannot compare with talent? And civilians cannot compare with the geniuses of the rich clan? Handing over the secret skills like this is nothing but a waste of time. Right.
Everyone was silent, obviously agree with this view. Uchiha Kagami looked at Hyuga Heishi and said with a smile, I actually agree with this point of view, so I will make a bet with everyone here and the Hyuga clan leader. Next, I will choose a young ninja in the village. This young man is not only a commoner, but his father is also a grandmaster of taijutsu like him. His name is Might Guy, and the Hyuga clan leader can choose the geniuses in the clan to compete with them in actual combat. I bet Might Guy will lose. Then it proves that hard work is not as good as talent, and civilians are not as good as genius. Shouldn't you bet on Might Guy to win? Hyuga Heishi said weirdly. I told you, I think the same as everyone else. How can a fool compare to a genius? And the leader of the Hyuga clan can also bet on the same outcome as me. As long as the winner is your Hyuga clan. Then I will not reform, Uchiha Kagami said confidently. Oh, are you sure? A man of his words. Okay, but, since you bet on Might Guy, you will lose, then I bet on Might Guy to win. Hyuga Heishi showed a wise look. You should want to use this kind of bet to stimulate Might Guy's potential, right? If I do the same, wouldn't it stimulate him even more?
Then I bet that Might Guy will win. With my support, that kid won't inspire too much potential, so he will definitely not be able to defeat the genius of our clan. Even though it will be useless no matter how much potential he inspires, I still be cautious.
After all, you are the resourceful Uchiha Kagami. Okay, it's up to you, but who do you choose? Uchiha Kagami asked. I choose Hyuga Kamen. The true genius boy of our clan has become Konoha's Jonin at just 15 years old. The one you selected should also be a Jonin, right? Hyuga Heishi said proudly. Advertisement, no, he is Chunin, but the age difference is not that big. Uchiha Kagami shook his head. Oh, that's such a pity, Hyuga Heishi sighed. I couldn't help but feel happy inside, it was just Chunin. No matter how talented the kid is in taijutsu, can he still win Jonin? Not to mention, what the Hyuga clan is best at is close combat. Hyuga Kamen is a talented young man at this stage, he has extremely pure Baikugan, and his gentle fist and acupuncture skills are astonishing. It's just Tianke, how can he win? Speak the truth. But for the bet proposed by Uchiha Kagami. Otherwise, he wouldn't be interested at all. After all, defeating a civilian is nothing to be proud of for the Hyuga clan. Certainly, this bet will not take place now. Instead, it was held in the afternoon of the next day, and it was still open to the public. Almost having to hold this discussion and actual battle under the witness of Konoha's top management and the people is enough to prove that Jing attaches great importance to this bet. Under the deliberate promotion of Uchiha Kagami, this battle between civilians and wealthy families soon became a hot topic of discussion. Damn it. Did you hear that? The Hyuga clan and Kagami-sama have made a bet. Kagami-sama selects civilian ninjas to compete with the geniuses of their Hyuga clan. Why do we need to spar? There's no reason for this. Hey, you don't know yet. I heard that Mr. Mirror wants to reform the ninja school for his commoners. I hope the rich clan can provide some bottom-of-the-line techniques so that the outside generation can become stronger.
As expected of Master Jing, he actually made me cry. Of course, this is for the benefit of us civilians, but they are definitely not happy to ask the rich clan to hand over their secret skills, and they believe that civilian ninjas are not as good as genius ninjas, so this bet was made.
If the Hyuga clan wins, there will be no chance of ninja school reform.
I hate to admit it, but those big clans are really strong, right? And they're also the Hyuga clan. I had a friend who took the graduation exam before and was defeated by a mediocre Hyuga clan. And that Hyuga Fire Gate, I heard that he is a genius among geniuses, but the person chosen by Master Kagami is a guy who only has Grandmaster Taijutsu. Even if you let me go, it's over, I think I will definitely lose. Quote. Hey, I'm not optimistic about it this time either. I've asked around, and the father named Might Guy is also a talentless one. He's still a genin even though he's very old. His son just became a chunin not long ago.
That's right. That Hyuga clan member is Jonin. How can we win? Note. Hyuga Firegate. The original 4 battles were 29 years old, and now he is estimated to be around 15 years old. That's about it. Besides, except for Shimura and Sarutobi, the other clan leaders are all young, less than 30 years old. Chapter 187 8 Inner Gates. My Hyuga clan is invincible in close combat. Advertisement under the deliberate momentum of Uchiha Kagami. The news was known to the public within one day. Everyone is not optimistic about Might Guy. Even those who have always supported Uchiha Kagami think that they have chosen the wrong person this time. Why don't you choose a civilian who knows ninjutsu? And, how about getting a Jonin? Jonin versus Jonin may not have a chance to win against the Hyuga clan. What did Chunin think about Jonin? It's just that although they are not optimistic about it, everyone is happy to watch the fun this time. After all, this is a gambling competition. Almost all the big shots in Konoha will come, including Uchiha Kagami, Fourth Hokage, and various clan leaders. Night falls. Behind Konoha, among the woods, a man was wearing green tights.
The watermelon head with thick eyebrows was doing push-ups with one finger, his face was covered with sweat, and he kept counting in his mouth.
998, 999, 1000. Change the hand and continue. Do 1001 finger push-ups, continue. Youth is still there. Keep exercising, come on. Whirring, the thick eyebrows continue. Next to him stood his father, Might Die. There is no fluctuation on the surface, but my thoughts have long wandered to no one knows where. Until Might Guy did 2001 finger push-ups, stood up and shook his eyes, with a look of curiosity on his face.
Father, what's wrong with you? When I was training before, you were always there to supervise me. Why are you so absent-minded now? Is there something you are hiding from me?
Hey, I can almost tell you. Might Die sighed. You have been spotted by Lord Uchiha Kagami, and you will have a practical competition with the geniuses of the Hyuga clan at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And tickets are sold to the public, and the public will come to watch. What? Let me fight the genius of the Hyuga clan.
Although Might Guy was shocked, he was a little surprised. No, why are you asking me to compete with the Hyuga clan? I have no holiday with the Hyuga clan. Is there any misunderstanding in this?
It's not a misunderstanding, this is a big shots bet.
Mighty Dai shook his head. You may have heard recently that Master Hokage and Master Mirror intend to reform the ninja school and recruit more civilians to become ninjas, in order to cultivate outstanding next generations. Master Jing hopes that the big clan will provide some secret techniques, but the big clan looks down on civilians at all, but Lord Jing doesn't think so. So there is this bet. If you win, the ninja school will be reformed. If you lose, the reform will fail. Here, Might Guy is stupid. Suddenly I felt the pressure doubled. It's just a simple discussion. Even if the opponent is from the Hyuga clan, he actually doesn't give in to the opponent. After all, he learned 8 inner gates from his father, and although he is still young, he is still quite powerful.
Only, this involves a confrontation between the big shots at the top. This made him feel that the meaning of this battle was different. He was worried that he was under too much pressure and would perform abnormally and let Master Jing down. Son, don't be stressed. Might Dai gave a thumbs up and showed his kind-hearted white fang. Youth only requires hard work, and you will definitely reap rewards, but since you were favored by Master Jing, then go all out, spread your blood. Yes, father, I will definitely win. Youth never says defeat. Might Guy also gave a thumbs up. There seemed to be flames burning in the dark eyes. The next day, in the huge martial arts arena, there were a large number of spectators sitting around.
Advertisement. On the main stage, the big shots entered one after another. Fourth Hokage Namikaze Minato is sitting in the middle, with Uchiha Kagami and the masked Senju Hashirama on the left and right, and in the row behind him are the heads of the various clans. Among them was Hyuga Heishi, who couldn't hide the smile on his stern face. As if he had seen the dawn of victory, Uchiha Kagami pretended to smile bitterly and deliberately added another layer of buff. Head of the Hyuga clan, you are quite confident. It seems, that young man of yours must be quite talented. I'm afraid Might Guy won't be able to defeat the Hyuga fire sect. Ha ha ha, the outcome is unknown, let's see first. Hyuga Hiyashi smiled. And with an order. A large open space in the middle of the martial arts arena. 2 young men walked out facing each other. One, still wearing green tights, Might Guy clasped his fingers tightly, hearing the shouts around him, feeling nervous and excited at the same time. And the other, her hair is slightly longer and tied into a small braid. Wearing a Jonin vest, his white eyes looked up and down at his opponent, looking at his tight pants and tights. Suddenly I felt, this guy looks a bit unruly. But as a genius of the Hyuga clan, he is different from others. He is calm and composed and does not look down on others because of his appearance. Might Guy, I haven't heard of you. Hyuga Kamen said seriously, but after all, you are the one that Lord Kagami likes. I think there will be something special. I will go all out later. For the glory of the Hyuga clan, I will never lose to you. Quote. Is this a coincidence? For the sake of youth, and in order not to disappoint that adult, I will never lose to you, so out of respect for the Hyuga clan. Then I will attack first, be careful. Leaf Hurricane. Might Guy has shiny teeth, he sprinted away, using his hands and feet. At the same time, he threw it towards the opponent's body and head. But, Hyuga Kamen's eyes bulged with veins. The moment the Byakugan activated, his insight soared by several levels. He easily avoided the opponent's attack by turning sideways, and at the same time launched a counterattack, bringing the index and middle fingers of his right hand together to poke the opponent's ribs. Gentle fist die in acupoint, it's over, I'm going to suffer. Might Guy's pupils tightened. He naturally understands the secret arts of the Hyuga clan. Their gentle fist looks weak, but is actually very lethal. In particular, the actual principle of acupuncture is to use your own chakra to penetrate the enemy's acupuncture points and meridians, blocking the opponent's chakra operation, thereby destroying the opponent's meridians and even internal organs at a deeper level. Once hit several times, all internal organs are at risk of rupture.
But Byakugan's insight is even more amazing than Sharingan's.
In addition, Might Guy was still young, so he was hit on an acupuncture point, and the chakra in his waist and abdomen was blocked. He almost stumbled and fell to the ground. But he still stood up, staring at his opponent. Hyuga Kamen did not attack again. He looked at the opponent and said sympathetically, "This is my Hyuga clan. We are invincible in close combat, even if you are a little talented in physical skills or have worked hard for more time.
But you still can't win against me. I hit the acupuncture points on your waist and abdomen just now, and the meridians were blocked by my chakra. It's enough to make you slow down in the future. After a few times, your internal organs will also rupture. Hard work cannot defeat genius. I sincerely suggest you admit defeat. Losing your life is not worth the loss." Admit defeat? Haha. Might Guy's whole body chakra surges. It will block your own chakra and easily collapse it. This scene, Hyuga Kamen was immediately shocked. You just used chakra to break through my acupoints. How did you do that? Did you also master some powerful secret technique? Might Guy put his palm forward and said proudly, "Your Hyuga family's gentle fist is indeed powerful, but in my Might Guy youth, I never had the word, admit defeat. You guessed it right. I have also mastered a very powerful secret technique in physical skills, and the name of this secret technique is 8 Inner Gates. You have to be careful." Chapter 188 Uchiha Kagami. It's useless even if Jesus comes, I said so. Advertisement, 8 Inner Gates. Hyuga Kamen couldn't help but feel suspicious. The Hyuga clan is well informed and has heard many secret techniques. But he didn't have the slightest understanding of the secrets of physical skills that the other party was talking about. Could it be that the other party was lying to him?
Hehe. The price of this technique is very high. It's still too early for you to let me use my full strength. Youth never slackens, so let me be a little more serious. Wearing this all the time is still a bit too tiring.
Might Guy jumped up. He jumped onto the pillar at the edge of the martial arts arena. He raised his hand and took out the iron body from his leg, then threw it down. Boom. Iron body falls. 2 big holes were punched in the ground. The ground trembled slightly, and this scene immediately shocked everyone's jaws.
FK. This thick eyebrow is also tied with an iron body.
How ridiculously heavy is this iron body? My butt is numb. Haha, this proves that this boy is indeed not weak. He is indeed the talent that Master Jing has chosen. Come on, watermelon-headed boy. I'm optimistic about you.
Yes, kill that white-eyed boy. Quote. On the chief stand, Hyuga Hiyashi also frowned. This guy with thick eyebrows actually wears high-density weight-bearing iron rings all the time. No wonder he couldn't dodge the seemingly simple acupuncture just now. Master Jing, the talent you are looking for is indeed of some level, but if you want to defeat the geniuses of our clan, you can't win with this level of weight-bearing training.
Really? Then keep reading, you will be surprised. Uchiha Kagami smiled gently. And at this moment, the audience cheered. The words of encouragement made the thick-browed boy's eyes filled with passion. Might Guy jumped up, raised his hand and punched the opponent in the head, but the Hyuga clan had amazing insight after all. And, Hyuga Firegate is Jonin. Not only is he a genius, he also does weight training. He avoided the punch by turning his body slightly to one side, but Might Guy's speed continued to increase, and his body seemed to have turned into an afterimage. Fang Fang. Fang Fang. Several sharp attacks in a row. Even Hyuga Kamen's Byakugan caught it.
But his body couldn't keep up with the opponent's attack speed. Might Guy saw the opportunity and came to his back and threw a roundhouse kick.
Leaf Strong Whirlwind. Don't even think about succeeding, gentle fist one strike. Hyuga Kamen gave a low shout. The body did not twist, and his hands were shot directly behind him. Not only his hands but also the acupuncture points behind him spurted out a large amount of chakra, directly colliding hard with the opponent. Boom. Might Guy rewinds out. He took several steps back before barely stopping himself. As this gentle fist too. Yes, this is another use of gentle fist. Even if my body can't keep up with you, I can release chakra from the acupoints all over my body, and behind my back too. Hyuga Kamen stepped forward with one palm. Might Guy, since you have very strong taijutsu skills, let me see them. Otherwise, you won't be able to defeat me with your current skills. Okay. That's as you wish. 8 inner gates. Second gate Hugh Gate, open. Third gate Sheng Gate, open. Might Guy crossed his arms. Advertisement. The physical restrictions were lifted directly, and the chakra immediately surged. Green energy shrouded his whole body, and his skin turned red. Boom. Might Guy stepped on the ball of his foot. The whole person ejected like a cannonball. So fast that the audience couldn't see him at all, he hit Hyuga Kamen's chin with an upper kick. While blood spilled from the corner of his mouth. The whole body was involuntarily knocked into the air. Bang bang. Bang bang bang. Might Guy jumped on the post several times. He hit Hyuga Huoman several times in a row till he vomited blood and was unable to resist. This scene, everyone present was immediately stunned. In the chief grandstand, Hyuga Kamen couldn't sit still and couldn't help but exclaim. What kind of technique is this? This thick-browed boy. His chakra has almost increased tenfold. Is this the forbidden technique? Yes, it's forbidden technique. Uchiha Kagami said calmly. It's called 8 inner gates. The 8 gates are the open gate, the rest gate, the life gate, the injury gate, the do gate, the king gate, the shock gate, and the death gate. Everyone has an 8 gate. But under normal conditions, it is closed. It can be regarded as the human body's self-protection state, and the flow of chakra in the meridians is not large. However, through special practice, the human body's limitations can be opened.
This will directly obtain the amazing chakra, allowing the caster's strength and speed to soar directly to another level, but it will also increase the load on the human body. The more 8 gates are opened, the greater the load. And if the door of death is opened, the caster will also die. There is actually such a forbidden technique. Is this a technique developed by Second Hokage? In order to win this game, you really worked hard, even risking the life of this thick-browed brat. Hyuga Hiyashi said in a low voice. No, first of all, this is not the forbidden technique developed by my second brother. Uchiha Kagami glanced at him. 8 inner gates existed during the Sengoku period, but because it was very difficult to learn and would cause great damage to the body, so the inheritance was almost completely lost. Although my second brother is extremely talented, don't attribute all the forbidden technique to him. This is disrespectful to the developers. In addition, this child will not die. He is still young and cannot open the door of death. This injury I can help him heal.
Master Mirror, 8 inner gates is indeed very strong. Hyuga Hiyashi is still very calm, but I can see that the thick-browed boy is not familiar with the 8 inner gates. So as long as the Hyuga Firegate has a chance, the winner will still be our Hyuga clan.
Okay, then I'll wait and see. Uchiha Kagami was unexpected though.
But he didn't panic at all, he had considered this factor.
After all, Might Guy is only over 10 years old now, and he has definitely not mastered the 7th gate yet, but he is 2 or 3 years older than Xiaoli at the time.
High probability. Can master Duman or Jingmun? But considering that Hyuga Kamen is the strongest genius of the Hyuga family at this stage,
the strength is probably much stronger than that of Gaara, who could only passively defend, so Might Guy might really capsize in the gutter.
But it's not important, because he has already used the halo, you will lose every bet.
You will lose if you bet on Might Guy. With the blessing of this law of cause and effect, Might Guy will not lose even 10,000% of the time.
It's no use even if Jesus comes, I'm telling you. Note. The developer of 8 inner gates is unknown. First of all, it was definitely not invented by the second generation project. There is no evidence that the original comic was invented by second generation. The reason why many fanfics are set up like this is to save trouble. If the second generation project develops 8 inner gates, there is no reason not to open 8 gates when fighting with Golden Horn and Silver Horn, so it cannot be a developer. And Might Dai is not a developer. The original words of Might Dai's original work are, it took 20 years to finally master this technique, rather than, development. Therefore, there is a high probability that 8 inner gates should have been in existence for a long time, but the specific time is uncertain. And when Six Paths Madara and Emperor Guy fight, the original words were, it's not red steam. I'm really disappointed. When he saw the 8 inner gates formation, he said, is this the red steam of the 8 inner gates death gate? These words can prove that he was interested in the 8 inner gates formation. Gates had heard about it, but had never seen it with his own eyes. Certainly, it may also be the original third ninja war. Might Dai crippled 7 people, and let Madara, who was still hiding in the dark, know about it, so she heard about it, but it may be that Madara knew it very early, so the second one is used here. It is considered a second design. Chapter 189 Might Guy, hard work can defeat genius. Advertisement. And on the martial arts field, Might Guy's attacks continue. Hyuga's defense was insufficient, and the clothes on his chest were soaked with blood. But this is a martial arts arena after all. The area is too large, and there are too few places to borrow power from the air. Different from the closed competition environment of Rock Lee, it was difficult for Might Guy to form a continuous and stable pursuit based on the surrounding pillars alone. It's so fast, but I, Hyuga Kamen, am not a vegetarian either. 8 trigrams air palm. Hyuga Kamen clapped his palm in the air. The air suddenly shook, and he didn't attack Might Guy at all. Instead, he used the reaction force of the 8 trigrams air palm to land directly on another pillar. Might Guy chased after it without even thinking about it. But this time it was too far. Coupled with Baikugan's superb insight, he was caught in the gap. Got you. I won. 8 trigrams 64 palms. Hyuga Kamen spread his hands. Lowering his body, the 8 trigrams formation appeared under the soles of his feet. Bang bang. Bang 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 bang. Hyuga Firegate palms continuously. Keep bombarding Might Guy's body. Chakra strikes again and again, constantly blocking the opponent's meridians. A huge force penetrated his body, and Might Guy flew backwards and fell heavily to the ground. Puff. Might Guy spits blood. He could feel that the chakra flow was somewhat blocked. However, the 8 inner gates are still open, so his explosive power is only slightly weakened, but it will not directly cause his body to become stiff. Might Guy, I recognize your strength. It didn't directly make you lose your fighting ability, but the gap between your strength now and your strength just now is too big. You can't beat me. You have worked very hard, but hard work cannot defeat genius. In the case of Hyuga Firegate, the words conveyed seemed to hurt his soul. Fart. Bullshit makes no sense. The passion of youth will stop forever. I, Might Guy, will implement my Nindo today and let everyone witness. Hard work can defeat genius. Father and Master Jing, I will not let you down. Shangman, Duman, open, Might Guy shouted angrily. Chakra surged all over the body and veins on the head bulged. At this moment, he has entered the real danger zone of 8 inner gates, and it is considered that the state of 8 inner gates has the largest increase. Boom. The ground was shattered into pieces. Might Guy's speed was so fast that even the mini Jonin couldn't see clearly. Only Sharingan could barely capture his traces, and Hyuga Kamen was extremely shocked. Haha. It's so fast, advertisement. My Byakugan can't see it all. I can only see a ball of chakra moving at high speed in the air. Don't let him get close. Revolving Heaven. Hyuga Kamen panicked for the first time. He was proud of the close combat, but he no longer dared to get close. Before the opponent could launch an attack, he sprayed out a large amount of chakra from the acupoints all over his body, and then began to spin in place at high speed.
But, Might Guy's speed is simply incredible. So fast that even the speed of Revolving Heaven couldn't keep up. He directly broke through the opponent's defense and kicked him out in full view of everyone.
Bang! Hyuga Firegate spurts out blood. His chest was dented, and his whole body hit the wall. His own defense was not strong, and this blow directly killed half of his life, and he fainted quickly. And 1 second before fainting, he still couldn't believe it, he actually lost? When Might Guy saw the other party unconscious, he immediately breathed a sigh of relief and released the 8 inner gates, but soon he felt pain all over his body. It hurts so much, it's over. The load is too great. I won't die, right? My youth is not over yet. I am not willing to accept it. Might Guy regrets it. But, suddenly there was a figure in front of him. A man with black hair and a smile came over. Don't worry, your injuries are nothing, I will heal you. Mirror. Mirror-sama. Might Guy was excited. He wanted to stand up, but he couldn't do it. The muscles all over my body hurt like crazy, and even my bones felt sore and numb. And Uchiha Kagami gently helped him up, and said in a gentle tone with teasing. Look around, everyone is cheering for you. Isn't it a bit shameful for you to sit like this? Just let me help you. Bar. Ah. Might Guy was stunned for a second. Looking up, I found that the audience burst into cheers. He couldn't hear what they were saying at all, but they were celebrating themselves, and the injuries suffered at this moment were all worth it. Might Guy's eyes were red. He wiped the corners of his eyes and choked up. I won, Master Jing. I didn't disappoint you. I defeated the genius of the Hyuga family. I finally proved to everyone that hard work can defeat genius. I know, you're great. Uchiha Kagami is sincerely happy. Seriously, Emperor Guy deserves to be Emperor Guy. In this battle, he was worried about using, every bet will lose. Hyuga Kamen was worthy of being the strongest genius of the contemporary era, and his observation skills and counterattack methods were very good. The moment I saw 8 trigrams 64 palms appear. He thought he was about to overturn, but who would have thought that Might Guy would still use his own power to forcefully open the 5th gate and defeat the Hyuga Firegate. There is absolutely no room for the halo to be used, but this is Emperor Guy. At first, a being who can kick 6 paths Madara. The passion of youth is still flowing, as long as you work hard, never give up. To be honest, in the Hokage world where blood is respected, people like Might Guy actually make him admire him. Except for Shenren Kabuto. Might Guy achieves such an achievement without using technology or transforming himself. It is also considered unique. Chapter 190 Fame, Invitation from Uchiha Kagami. Advertisement, and he could tell, Might Guy at this stage. He was much better than Rock Lee during the Chunin exams, not only because of his age advantage, but also because the opening of Might Guy's 5th gate was not so heavy as Rock Lee's that even Tsunade almost gave up. Except for muscle soreness, Might Guy basically has no major problems. And above the stands, Namikaze Minato and Senju Hashirama wearing a mask. Everyone felt surprised and happy for this child, but looking back at Hyuga Heishi and the other clan leaders, they all felt so disgusted that they wanted to leave immediately. You actually won? How is that possible? The corner of Hyuga Heishi's mouth twitched. Such a technique temporarily opens up the body's limitations, and it is not considered the original physical strength at all. If that boy with thick eyebrows does not use 8 inner gates, he will definitely not be able to defeat Hyuga Firegate. The younger brother, Hyuga Hizashi, whispered, Brother, what should we do now? The bet between you and Master Kagami has failed, including our Hyuga clan. Other clans must also hand over their secret techniques, or do you regret it? This forbidden technique cannot be used in competitions at all. We just need to grasp this, and we may not be unable to succeed. What are you thinking about? Hyuga Heishi glanced at him and said angrily, Do you think Uchiha Kagami made this bet with me just to save the face of the major clans? If you don't abide by the bet, you won't have the temper to hold a mirror? Shimura Koji lost half his life. If Lord First Hokage hadn't begged for mercy, do you think he could still live? If you don't want to live, you can try to regret it. Okay then, Hyuga Hizashi is also scared. Although he was not present at the time, he heard about it through hearsay. Shimura Koji danced so happily that Uchiha Kagami opened a bloody hole on the spot, if First Hokage hadn't begged for mercy. Otherwise, this old guy would have been cold. When they thought of this, they no longer dared to have any other opinions. Life is good, who wants to die? The other clan leaders did not intend to resist anymore. After all, Mirror and Shodai had come forward twice. If they refused again, they would be disrespectful. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the mirror in the middle of the martial arts arena and couldn't help but feel shaken. You actually won? The boy with the thick eyebrows is attracted by you, and I'm afraid he will become a representative figure among the common people in the future. Jing, are you really trying to cultivate the next generation? Could it be that you really don't want to destroy the major clans? Speak the truth, he was in turmoil now, because Shimura Danzo said, Uchiha Kagami such a move. It's no less than letting all races be exterminated and cultivating the next generation. It's all fake, but now Jing is supporting the young man with thick eyebrows in front of everyone. Such an honor. It could literally make my guy, Blink, famous. He does seem to be cultivating the next generation, and it seems to have yielded results, so is Danzo wrong? And as a game comes to an end, but among civilians, the furor was greatest. In other words, they saw it for the first time, the ordinary ninja defeated the Grey Clan. Moreover, he is a genius of the Hyuga clan who claims to be the strongest in Konoha, which makes many civilian ninjas full of expectations for reforming the ninja school. No one doesn't want to make progress, and no one doesn't want fame. And the next day, Might Guy's name resounded throughout Konoha. There has even been a vague tendency to become a civilian idol. Advertisement with the end of this bet, no one raised any objections to the reform of the ninja school, and all major clans also contributed some techniques. There are not many, each clan only has a few techniques. But, except for the Konoha clan, there are also many small and medium-sized clans, and the total number is quite large. There are at least hundreds of them, among which low and intermediate ninjutsu account for the vast majority, and only 1 or 2% are high-level ninjutsu, but this is just the beginning. And under the influence of Uchiha Kagami wood style, the 4 major ninja schools in Konoha were established, namely Konoha Kindergarten, Konoha Junior Elementary School, Konoha Junior High School, and Konoha Senior High School. Abbreviation: Konoha Elementary School, Konoha Middle School, and Konoha High School. Except for kindergarten, which is a 4-year program, the others are 3-year programs. The admission and graduation age for Konoha Kindergarten is 3 to 6 years old, for elementary school is 7 to 9 years old, for junior high school is 10 to 12 years old, and for high school is 13 to 15 years old. Certainly, this entry and graduation age is not mandatory. After all, Kakashi graduated at the age of 5. For those outstanding children, if they have enough ability, they can graduate early. While studying, if you think you are strong enough, you can apply for the ninja exam, and there is no upper limit for ninja level applications. As long as you are good enough, elementary school students can take the Jonin exam. Of course, the difficulty is very high. It is not as simple as the Chunin exam. Not only do you need to be good enough in theoretical courses, but you also need a real elite Jonin to conduct practical assessments of candidates to confirm whether they have sufficient qualifications and report them to Hokage and senior management. Only with unanimous consent can promotion be granted. This age was the result of a discussion between Kagami and Hashirama. Originally, Jing wanted to relax the age, but considering that the painting style of this world is really mature, teenagers look like 20s, and his own wish also hopes that these children have enough skills. Instead of letting them become flowers in the greenhouse, I agreed. As for why kindergarten is set for 3-year-olds, 3 years old may seem small, but for a true teenage genius, chakra can be refined at the age of 3, and ninjutsu can be learned after practicing at the age of 4. Therefore, the lower limit of the age for not enrolling in school should be lowered to prevent talented children from not learning. This is really considerate. And in order for the school to have a principal, he invited Utatane Kaharu and Midokado Homura to serve as principals of elementary and junior high schools. Regardless of their qualifications and abilities, these 2 people are more than enough to serve as principals of elementary and junior high schools, but they are too young for kindergarten. They need someone who can control the prestige of those brats, and Jiraiya, one of the Sannin, is just right. And there is only one Konoha high school left, considering that these young people have already gone through many levels of examinations. The ability is naturally quite outstanding, and we need someone who is knowledgeable and able to convince everyone. This person is of course Sarutobi Hiruzen. Uchiha Kagami came to his home, and the 2 sat down and started talking. Hiruzen, we need you to be the principal of Konoha High School. It's okay for you to be the ninja professor, to teach them, but you don't need to attend classes regularly. Just leave it to the hired Jonin teacher. Mirror. You asked me to be the principal of the high school? Sarutobi Hiruzen was surprised. If not, Uchiha Kagami said seriously, don't you always want to contribute to Konoha? Teaching and educating people is not burying your talents, right? You are good at all 5 ninjutsu. This candidate must be you.